पोल आए थे। छत्तीसगढ़ का चुनाव था, वहाँ पर भी एग्जिट पोल आए थे। उत्तराखंड का चुनाव था, वहाँ भी एग्जिट पोल आए थे। क्या एग्जिट पोल आए थे आपके सामने, आपको पता है। उसके परिणाम क्या आए हैं वो भी आपको पता है। और सेम पोजीशन यहाँ है। यहाँ पर हरियाणा के लोग भारतीय जनता पार्टी नरेंद्र मोदी जी से प्यार करते हैं और उन्होंने ईमानदारी से काम किया। हमारी सरकार ने ईमानदारी से प्रदेश को आगे बढ़ाया है और लोग चाहते हैं कि यही सरकार बननी चाहिए और बन रही है। लोगों का जो आशीर्वाद है, लोगों का जो स्नेह है, लोगों का जो प्यार है, कमल के फूल के साथ।
आखिरी सवाल सीएम साहब, आज आपकी जो दिनचर्या है वो क्या रहने वाली? अभी आप मुझको रिलैक्स दिख रहे हैं, दिन भर की आपकी दिनचर्या क्या रहेगी?
मैं पूरे इलेक्शन के अंदर कहीं दबाव में नहीं नजर आया, मैं रिलैक्स ही नजर आया। आप मेरे को कभी भी मिले होंगे, मैं रिलैक्स था क्योंकि हमने ईमानदारी से काम किया। हमारे मन में ये नहीं है कि हमने लूट खसोट की तरफ ध्यान देना है, ऐसा नहीं है। हमारा ध्यान होता है काम की तरफ, भी हमने काम करना है और उसको लेकर के हम लगे रहते हैं। जब हमारा ध्यान काम की तरफ है तो हम रिलैक्स रहते हैं कि हमने काम करना है और करते हैं, ईमानदारी से करते हैं।
बनती हुई दिखाई है।
देखिए, क्योंकि
शानदार जीत के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के समर्थित इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट्स और जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सहयोगी मित्र दल हैं, उनको शानदार जीत के साथ जम्मू कश्मीर में बहुमत प्राप्त होगा। भारतीय जनता पार्टी 30 से 35 सीटें अपने दम पर जीतेगी।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जम्मू कश्मीर में लोगों को जिस प्रकार से विकास की राह पर लेके गए हैं, पत्थरबाजी से छुड़काया है और इसी हिसाब से कुल मिलाकर के अलगाववाद, आतंकवाद, भ्रष्टाचार, परिवारवाद इससे मुक्त किया है। तो हमें पूरी उम्मीद है कि जिस प्रकार से हम बुलेट से बैलेट की ओर बढ़े हैं और टेररिज्म से टूरिज्म की तरफ बढ़े हैं, भारतीय जनता पार्टी को लोगों ने खुल करके वोट दिया है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी सबसे बड़ा दल बन करके इस इलेक्शन में आएगा और हम सरकार बनाएंगे। भारतीय जनता पार्टी का डर सता रहा है, इसलिए सभी को इकट्ठे कर रहे हैं। इससे ज्यादा ये कुछ नहीं है। अलग विचारधारा, अलग सोच, अब इलेक्शन अलग अलग लड़ा, लेकिन अब ये इकट्ठे हो रहे हैं। इससे क्या जाहिर होता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी सत्ता में आएगी ही।
अभी तक तो जो हमें यहाँ लोकल ट्रेंड्स मिल रहे हैं अनंतनाग से या कश्मीर साइड से, वो तो जैसा हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे कि लोगों ने पिछले 10 साल के नाकस पॉलिसियों को, भाजपा के नाकस पॉलिसियों को हराने के लिए वोट दिया है। अभी तक तो ऑल ओवर ट्रेंड हमारे पास वही आ रहे हैं और नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस, कांग्रेस और अलाइज का जो है, कई जगह से हमको रिपोर्ट्स मिल रहे हैं कि उसी तरह के उम्मीदवार आगे अभी तक हैं। हालांकि अभी ये अर्ली है, मेरे ख्याल से थोड़ा सा 1-2 घंटे के बाद में और ये सिचुएशन क्लियर हो जाएगी। मगर वी आर होपफुल कि जो लोगों का फैसला है वो नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस, कांग्रेस और उसी तरह के लाइक माइंडेड और भी इंडिविजुअल्स भी हो सकते हैं, कुछ पार्टियां भी हो सकती है, मगर किसी तरह से भी बीजेपी को कोई स्कोप इस रियासत में सरकार बनाने का नहीं मिलेगा।
Just under 3 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. Ghulam Ahmad Mir of the Congress Party, did he sound quietly confident or did he sound tentative ahead of results? What is the mood and is it going to go the way as the exit pollsters have predicted or is it going to be something different? There are those who would like to believe कहानी में twist है, हरियाणा में भी और जम्मू कश्मीर में भी. There are others who would say, बस नतीजे साफ करो, आगे बढ़ो. But there are those like us who'd say we'd like to see some drama because that's what keeps us engaged, isn't it? And then this whole coverage of the result day live gets all the more exciting. And there'll be so much more to talk about on the magic wall. It'll start plotting in just about 120 seconds.
It's all grey now, but in about 2 minutes, yes, you will start seeing pops of color, whether those pops are saffron or blue or green or yellow. For the BJP, like I've been saying, the GT corridor, this is their firewall. If you start seeing pops of blue in the firewall, then you know it's going to be a one-way street for the Congress in Haryana. Jammu and Kashmir, it's a completely unknown entity, or at least relatively unknown, because, like I said, all constituencies are new. This is the first election after delimitation. So every constituency, the borders have changed, the number of electors have changed, the profiles of constituencies have changed, and therefore, we are literally in uncharted territory. Rahul Shivshankar, your expectations as we count down the last minute and a half?
I know
Look,
you
I
didn't
think,
want elections
Haryana
in JNK, but you got to move beyond that, Rahul. Now the elections have happened.
Haryana is for the Congress to lose. From all anecdotal evidence, that's what we're hearing. They're going to do well enough to form the government there. Now,
Why do you sound so sad about it?
What I'm looking at specifically are two things. Number one, the vote share of the Bharatiya Janata Party. How much does it contract? If it doesn't contract, what can we then extrapolate from there? Number two, where is the Dalit, the OBC vote going? Because Rahul Gandhi is invested in Dalit politics, suddenly discovered this constituency, and now hopes that this constituency will drive him forward and his party forward back to power at the center. So I want to actually see how the Dalits do respond in this particular state, where they actually have some sway. And the influence of the BSP, the influence of Ravan's party on the ground, does that actually change the dynamic or not? Or are the voters completely now made up their minds, at least in certain parts? Because
Well, we'll see. The numbers will start plotting themselves just about 15 seconds.
We got the Hindi heartland.
Right, will it have a knock-on effect? We'll see. There go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and counting begins. Tutari baj gaye, counting will begin, postal ballots will happen, but slowly and gradually the numbers will start plotting. Compared to the Lok Sabha election, should we see the numbers trickling in fast? Will we get to understand the trends faster? Pallavi, Aman, what are you understanding? Or is it going to take its time? Because the instructions from all parties is koi bhi booth nahi chhodega, stronghold, strong areas nahi chhodega until all the rounds are done. Because the margins can be very, very slim in the assembly elections. Pallavi.
Particularly Jammu and Kashmir. And in Haryana, of course, I mean, there are observers who are already there. So for both the parties, I mean, I can speak for the Congress since I covered the Congress, but yes, they have been very, very careful. And as Shireen also has been reporting, that big observer meeting took place yesterday. Be alert, don't be overconfident till the final result comes in. So traditionally what happens is that postal ballots are going to be counted first.
So it's a union territory and a state, so that's why if you look at our screens, ladies and gentlemen, there is Haryana. The numbers for Haryana, below that you'll see, and here on the screen you will see the numbers. The first leads will emerge soon, so the breaking flashes, news flashes, and of course the updates at the bottom of the screen. Top of the screen will give you some of the top lines, editorial understanding of the numbers coming in so far. And here, on the flank here is where you will see the Jammu and Kashmir numbers. So Jammu and Kashmir, we are not separating the divisions, but we are just putting in the seats based on the alliances, that is the pre-poll alliances, not what's going to happen post-poll. The others, a lot of parties are bunched together in the others. So if you see the others numbers going up, then you must be sure that there is a new dynamic or an alternative dynamic in Jammu and Kashmir that's emerging. Let's see what the story is as these numbers start plotting themselves. First lead should come very soon.
On Jammu and Kashmir, this time the postal ballots will also include Kashmiri Hindu votes.
Yes.
So, let's not...
Kashmiri Hindu votes, West Park Hindus,
Exactly.
Valmikis,
So
a lot of people who have never voted
Yeah.
in Jammu and Kashmir for the last 7 decades, they will get a chance and they will be voting. And that's not a small number. It's more than about 2.5 to 3 lakh votes.
Yes.
And in various pockets, a few thousands can change the whole narrative here and there. Rashid Kitwai, what are you thinking, even as we're waiting for the first leads to come in from the live result hub and also to start plotting here? Yeah.
I think Haryana is going to be very crucial for the Congress. If they get 2/3 majority, it will have a huge, bring a kind of self-confidence, and there's going to be no going back. In fact, it may mark, Rahul Gandhi era in Indian politics in that sense that it's finally arrived.
Okay, first number, Zaka and Avantika take over. First leads.
Plotted on the map yet, but in Jammu and Kashmir, Congress NC has got
two leads for the Congress NC in Jammu and Kashmir. First leads that have started coming. Ladies and gentlemen, the strong rooms are open for counting. There will be other regions in Jammu and Kashmir, smaller groups, smaller assembly constituencies, not too many voters. The counting could get over faster there, even as the ballot boxes are open. And you could have results coming in very, very soon. The first 2 leads are for the Congress and National Conference combined in Jammu and Kashmir. 1 lead for Congress in Haryana. 1 lead for Congress in Haryana coming through. So both the scoreboards have now opened. Now they will start tickling in fast, but these are early days. The first half an hour, 40 minutes, you will see a lot of postal ballot counting votes, and they don't actually matter for much, but then in these assembly constituencies, they could prove critical. It's when round 1, round 2 starts happening. By the time we get to 4 rounds, that the leads will start really consolidating and appearing, ladies and gentlemen. Who runs away with the early leads? Are there others who play catch up? We'll have to wait and watch. 2 for the National Conference and Congress in Jammu and Kashmir, 1 for the Congress party in Haryana. That's how the leaderboards are. The counting centers are open, strong rooms are open, the counting will get underway. Counting underway for the 2 regions, Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and the state of Haryana. Yes, Aarti Tikku, any morning thoughts this day morning? Did you feel that you looked at the mega poll of polls and says they've got the columns wrong?
Well, I think, exit polls have lost all their credibility and nobody is going to bet on them. But my own instinct, based on what I have experienced on the ground in Jammu and Kashmir, at least I can say that it's more likely going to be a hung assembly than a
BJP on the leaderboard in leads in Haryana, 3 for Congress in Haryana, 2 National Congress, National Conference, and this one in Jammu and Kashmir. Early trends are moving towards the Congress National Conference in both states. Yes, Aarti Tikku, please complete.
Yeah, well, early trends, as you rightly said, are about postal ballots. But also, I wanted to make this point that displaced Kashmiri Hindus have voted even in previous elections through postal ballot. But this time, displaced Kashmiri Pandits actually did not vote in great numbers through postal ballot. So I'm not sure.
A lot of them actually went back to their constituency. I know a few of them who went back to Kashmir and they voted in Kashmir.
Some,
so the BJP's got 1 lead now from Jammu and Kashmir. Again, we don't know which seat, which constituency. 3 to the Congress NC, 1 to the BJP. PDP
now,
is not
4 to the Congress in Haryana, 4 leads, 1 to the BJP in Haryana, 5 out. In Jammu and Kashmir, it is 3 and 1, 3 to the Congress NC, 1 to BJP. So early leads, early on, just 5 leads on the leaderboard, and it's Congress and the Congress NC in both the regions, Haryana and there you go, 4 and 1 and 3 and 1. So that's the story. No, 5 and 2, 5 and 2. So it's starting to build up. And the leads are starting to build up, especially Haryana will start plotting faster and thicker. These are postal ballots. It will take some time for it to reflect on the magic wall. But which are these regions? And you keep saying, Zaka, as we look at Haryana, that the Grand Trunk, the GT
corridor,
link, so Grand Trunk corridor, Ambala, 26 to 30 seats there. Yeah, that's critical.
Ambala, Sonipat, Panipat, Karnal, all the way right up to Rohtak. That's the belt. Rohtak, of course, is the Huda stronghold. As far as the Congress is concerned, it's the Jat land. It is Jind, Hisar, Rohtak, all the way up to Sirsa. And then, of course, there is the urban pocket of Gurgaon, Faridabad, Bhiwani, Mahendragarh. And, of course, there is the constituencies bordering Rajasthan. But if the BJP starts losing seats in this GT corridor, as it's called, then the firewall is breached. Then you're looking at almost a 2/3 majority for the Congress. Right now, it's looking at 5 for the Congress and 2 for now it's 6 for the Congress, 2 for the BJP and 1 for others.
1 for others. Do you think it will be a 3-cornered fight in Haryana, or is it going to be a 2-party fight, Rashid Kidwai? Because that will mean, if it's a 2-party fight, then that means the winner will take it all.
I am very clear in my mind, it is a 2-party race, and there is very little scope for the third, except for 4-5 independents like Savitri Jindal, etc., who have a chance to win. But it is, 2-horse race.
Now, so then the Congress should not end up at 60 seats. They should go all the way to 70, 75 seats.
Yeah, yesterday I heard a pollster say that it may go up to, as I keep saying, it will be a repeat of 2009 when Congress got 67 seats.
So you are confident that they will be between 65 to 70 seats. That's your understanding.
Yeah.
But what do you think will be the vote share difference? In Haryana, we've seen, at least I've seen instances where lesser vote share but higher seat convergence is possible.
Anand, with due respect, vote share is a loser's argument. It's seats that matter in elections. And it's seats who wins, forms the government. So it is all for discussion and all. It's fine. What is the vote share and all? But loser's argument, no silver medal in politics.
Look, if the BJP gets about 15 in the Jat land, if they hold on to what they were doing in 2024, they're in the picture. So we have to constantly look at that Jat land number and see where the BJP is actually getting its numbers from,
it looks
whatever the
difficult
numbers.
this time.
It
looks
might be
very difficult this
It
time
might
for
be.
BJP to hold on
Yeah.
to those seats in the Jatland.
So Savitri Jindal is leading in Hisar, Haryana. Key race alert that comes through. Savitri Jindal
She's
is
an
leading. She's
independent.
an independent
She's
candidate.
denied a BJP ticket.
Denied.
Yeah,
Yes,
independent
that's good.
candidate denied a BJP ticket in Hisar, Haryana. She's leading. That's a key race alert. Out of 12 leads,
But
8
which way
in
will
favor
she
of
go?
the
In case
Congress,
there is a very
3
tight
for the
contest,
BJP,
she'll go
1
with
for
BJP.
Well, her son is in the BJP.
Yes,
so I
that's right.
guess
That's
she
what
will
I'm
go
saying.
with
Which
the
way
BJP.
will she go? I mean, there's.
She'll go with the winner.
She'll go with the. Okay, that's
She'll
interesting.
go with the
Very
winner.
interesting.
That's what Rashid Kitwa is saying. Okay, six for Congress NC, 3 for the BJP in Jammu and Kashmir, 1 others. Naib Singh
CM
Saini is leading in Ladwa so far. Early lead. हाँ, मैं बहुत रिलैक्स्ड हूँ,
postal
बिल्कुल
ballots.
टेंशन नहीं ले रहा हूँ. हमारी पार्टी को वोट मिलेगा, मतदान मिलेगा, हम खींच लेंगे. That's the thought process in the BJP. A quiet confidence, or is it just that they want to put up a brave face?
Well, I think this seat which he's fighting has a lot of Sani votes. So there are almost 8 to 9% Sani votes there. So that could be a reason BJP cited to give this particular seat to. I didn't understand why BJP didn't give a ticket to Savitri Jindal. You know, she wanted it. Her son is a BJP MP, so that was a bit surprising as well. But I think Haryana results, Anand, would be clear by about 10:30, I believe, because it will be, I think, very, very clear. And it looks clear as of now, 9 and 4, Congress and BJP. JNK, I think we have to keep a tight look on the others number.
Yeah.
Because that will keep us, I think, here till evening, figuring
See,
out who
if
actually
JNK
wins
is neck and
JNK.
neck between 2 parties, that is 2 entities, BJP and the Congress, and see if it's neck and neck, then we are in for a lot of drama, because we will have a similar scenario like in 2014, where somebody had the mandate in the Jammu division, another had a mandate in the Kashmir division, and then it was not a very natural alliance.
Saila Rashid yesterday on the show at 9 o'clock was saying, on Hard Facts, was saying very clearly that she doesn't think that these third players, whether the independents, etc., are really going to have much traction. This is going to be a 2-horse race. In Jammu, you're going to have the BJP, and in the valley, you're going to have the NC Congress. She doesn't believe, barring a couple of 2 or 3, she doesn't believe that they're going to get much.
No, then what happens in a scenario like that? Because then it's a similar scenario to BJP, PDP.
So the NC and the NC and the Congress will form the government, and it may not be that much of a struggle.
No, but it's 2
That's
party.
Others number will be significant, because you also know there is Ram Madhav right now in JNK. And you know, in earlier election.
But was he injected early enough?
He was injected very late. I think
That is
Rahul,
a
he should have
question.
been sent much earlier. But
That
still,
is a question.
But still, I think the main gameplay happens in Kashmir once the results are out.
Yeah,
So you know that is when I think
Sunil
he's
Sethi, Ashok Kaul, Ram Madhav, they've all been there on ground and they've been trying to
See,
do
the
a lot of
BJP
work.
falls less than 30 in Jammu. It's going to be a struggle. Let's
Okay.
not be under any
Yeah.
illusions, because look, at the end of the day, the NC Congress will be in a position, and more like-minded parties and folks on that side of the fence.
So
than
far-
the BJP.
so far,
There's nothing
Haryana-
called a like-minded
Yeah.
party in the BJP setup. Okay,
No,
for the BJP to
when I
ally
say
with.
like-minded, there are political parties in Kashmir who are out in the fray, who are not asking for the abrogation of.
No, but what they're saying,
no,
their
return of the
candidates are
abrogation
saying on the
themselves.
ground is very different from what they perhaps are
Saying
manifesting.
a
you
lot
know,
of the
so-
candidates on ground, including those which are standing, whose patrons have been ministers and union ministers in the past,
So
what
let
their
me add a
utterances on
caveat.
ground
They're
are
not
very different.
naturally like-minded.
So that folk tongue is
Even the
is
Congress
there.
and National Conference, if you go by their history, are not like-minded. In fact, Congress was seen as a very hostile force in Kashmir for a very long time. Even today, if you speak to separatists, hardcore separatists, or people who participated in separatism very viciously in the last 70 years, for them it was Jawaharlal Nehru who was actually the biggest bêta-noir, biggest enemy who betrayed Sheikh Abdullah. So there is no natural, if you really
with
think
the
about
emergence
it.
Aarti-
The Nehru is quite natural.
Yeah, but the emergence of the BJP has changed a lot of things.
Yeah, because
Yes, and
it's
I
allowed
have,
the Congress
Rahul,
to
I
shift
have-
the blame onto the BJP and make
Yeah.
that the Hindu party
No,
and the
Anand,
communal
I-
party.
I just-
That's the point.
Yeah.
Anand,
That's the
I just want to make this point. I have been to even the upper reaches of Jammu region, Rajouri, Poonch, Doda, with considerable Muslim population, and also in the North Kashmir, where I have heard people saying that if BJP fields their own candidate, we will vote for them. This is Kashmiri Muslim, this is Jammu Muslim speaking very candidly about how their own thinking has changed in the last 5 years. I think we'll really have to wait for the numbers to actually make sense of what is
One gets a
happening in
sense that the
JNK.
dynamic on ground, the difference or margin of victory, defeat, and there'll be a lot of diffusion. Haryana Congress seems to be running away, 24 leads, 17 and 8. 17 and 8 in Haryana, 3 others. Nothing for the AAP, nothing for the JJP, but the others, independents, nothing for the INLD
BJP
either.
in J&K.
So BJP in J&K is 8 and 10, so it's neck and neck. So perhaps gains in Jammu for the BJP, National Conference Congress gaining in the Kashmir division. There are two others, one lead for the PDP. It's neck and neck in Jammu and Kashmir, but the Congress stealing a march and an early lead for the Congress party in Haryana. Out of 28 seats, they are leading on 17, the BJP in 8. Nothing for the JJP, AAP or INLD, but there are three others, three independents who are also leading. So interesting mix that is presenting itself in Haryana. Will this lead only consolidate for the Congress, and will they start running away with the numbers? We'll have to wait and watch with the BJP catch up.
Screen,
look at Jammu and
sources
Kashmir.
are telling us that the BJP is already scrambling for their notepads in Jammu and Kashmir.
Jammu and Kashmir.
There is talk.
The notepads have been at the
Yes.
ready because their understanding is very clear that their gains will happen in Jammu.
Yeah.
And in Jammu, out of 43, you can max out. Even if you max out, you'll get
BJP leaders
35.
now moving towards Kashmir in large numbers. There seems to be something that they are assessing on the ground.
Yeah, that conversation has been going on.
Yeah.
The BJP, Aarti Tikku has also said that
Yes.
they will need independents and individual parties. We heard Ishanwani say like-minded, though you don't believe there are like-minded parties,
BJP
but there
is
will be
leading
people.
we know
Yeah.
3 out of the 8 seats. Udhampur, it's leading in Aknoor, and it's leading in Srinagar. I don't know. This is what we're getting from our live.
We got multiple
result hub.
plots here.
So,
Srinagar,
they're
which
leading
had
in
very
8,
low
but 3
polling.
of those we know which the seats are. Aknoor, Srinagar and Udhampur. These are
Omar
the 3
Abdullah
seats.
leading in Badgam as of now. That's another news key race alert that's come through, that Omar Abdullah is leading in Badgam. He had to change his constituency. He moved to Badgam, but then it looks like he is leading at the moment. Now, it's not
All
been
this
easy
is
for
postal
him.
ballots, right?
Yeah, these
Yes,
are all
all
postal
these are
ballots.
postal
These are all postal ballots. The ballot boxes or the EVMs have not yet been opened yet. First round of counting of the EVMs has not yet begun. In Garhi Sampala and Kiloi, that is Haryana, Bhupinder Hooda is leading. So that's another key race alert that's come through. There is a huge bid being made by the BJP in Jammu and Kashmir to form a coalition government. With who are they going to coalesce? We'll have to wait and watch. Postal ballots being counted. Fastest leads here on CNN News 18, 17, 8 and 3. As of now in Haryana, but look at Jammu and Kashmir, 10-10 now, 10-10, 2 and 1, 10-10, 2 and 1, so 23 and it's split between the BJP and the Congress NC, so it's going to be an even keel fight. Now if these two continue to hold this and remain neck and neck, it presents very, very interesting scenario. By 1 or 2 seats, could the person who has been first invited by the Lieutenant Governor be decided? Will it become so close? We'll have to wait and watch.
We should also go to LRH and see.
Yeah,
which
let's
are these
go
seats.
to Avantika, and we try and connect with her and understand which are the
Well,
early
if this
leads that are
trend in
coming in
Haryana
and what
continues,
is being tracked. So 12, 11, 3
2010.
and 1 in 27, 20 and
It'll be
10.
over
So a 10-seat lead opened up by the Congress party.
So exciting. Oh, absolutely.
Yes, Avantika.
and just look what's happening in Jammu and Kashmir. I'm just going to get your attention, Anand, here. Just quickly बताइए कि leads कहाँ से हो रही है? Because the numbers are just coming in. These are just very initial numbers, early trends, but the BJP looking good.
जम्मू कश्मीर में बीजेपी 5 सीटों पर आगे चल रही है। उधमपुर सीट से बीजेपी के कैंडिडेट्स आगे चल रहे हैं और अखनूर सीट से भी बीजेपी के कैंडिडेट्स आगे चल रहे हैं और अब जो जानकारी आई है बड़गांव से उमर अब्दुल्ला आगे चल रहे हैं।
Okay, so it's looking good for Omar Abdullah. Even for Naib Singh Saini, he has a reason to smile. He's been smiling all throughout. He's extremely confident. And despite Saini's position in the Saini community, which makes up about 7.5% in the population, it is still a very important contest for him. Iqbal ji, बताइए सैनी के लिए कैसे लग रहा है लाडवा सीट से?
बिल्कुल, देखिए अभी तक तो वो लीड कर रहे हैं, लेकिन अब जिस तरीके का उनका अगर सीएम सैनी की बात करें, उनके कामकाज को लेकर बात करें तो काफ़ी लोगों में ये था कि हाँ वो सीएम सैनी जो है जीतेंगे, लेकिन अभी भी लीडिंग को देखते हो तो ये लग रहा है कि शायद उनको जीत अब अभी तो बहुत आना बाकी है आगे।
और सावित्री जिंदल के लिए भी अच्छा लग रहा है, इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट, द रिचेस्ट लेडी इन द कंट्री।
जी बिल्कुल, सावित्री जिंदल भी जो है लीड कर रही हैं। उसके अलावा देखिए भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा, ये भी एक बात बड़ी सीट है, वो भी यहाँ पे लीड कर रहा है कांग्रेस से। और भी इसमें वीआईपी की अगर हम बात करें तो कई जगहों पे वीआईपी कैंडिडेट भी हैं, उनका भी बहुत बड़ी फाइट है। अंबाला से अगर हम बात करें, अंबाला का एंड से तो अभी लीड तो नहीं आई, लेकिन अनिल विज वहाँ से चुनाव लड़ रहा है, तो देखते हैं अभी और भी सीटों पे जो है आना बाकी है, तो कहाँ से और लीड आती है वो भी हम अभी देखेंगे।
Right. Anand, so these are the initial numbers. We'll keep a close track and I'll keep catching your attention.
Yes.
Yes.
So jump back in whenever you've got a lead. Keep an eye on Gurez. What happens in Gurez will be a story in itself. 10-seat lead that's been opened up by the Congress with the BJP in Haryana, 14 and 12. as far as Jammu and
Quick
Kashmir.
observation.
Yes. Yeah.
Look, I'm not seeing INLD or JJP, and I don't know if those three
No.
others are INLD. But
No,
certainly JJP
no INLD. Aap JJP and INLD 0. The three are independents.
So, three are independents.
Yes, three are independents.
So this is going to look like a two-horse race if these trends continue to hold. This is not going to be good news for the BJP substantially.
Yeah, 14-seat lead opened up by the Congress
If you
now.
look at I was talking about the GT corridor. The Congress has a patch of blue here in the GT corridor, so which means that the BJP's
Jharkhand.
guard, as it were, its sort of firewall is beginning to breach just a bit. We will keep an eye out. It's early days, like I said, postal
Well,
ballot
let me just
seats.
give you a little bit of a fact on this. So in 2019 assembly polls, the BJP had about 12 here in the Congress, 15 independents 2 in the Jharkhand, at least on the 29 seats that I have documented as the Jharkhand. In 2024, it was 15 to the BJP, Congress 14. So it was neck and neck. Whether this will hold, we don't know. We'll have to see.
So,
Yeah.
interestingly, the others, one is Savitri Jindal. She's, of course, fighting from Hisar. You have another constituency where Kuldeep Sharma of the Congress is fighting. There was a rebel candidate in this constituency. But you're beginning to see, again, a lot more sort of blues in the Panipat, Sonipat, Karnal belts. The BJP needs to sort of reverse this. If you compare this to the map of 2019 and look at where the BJP's numbers came from, a lot more orange here, a lot more orange here. We'll wait to see this belt, but this belt, the Sonipat, Panipat, leading all the way up to Rohtak, whether the BJP is able to...
Clearly, the BJP will just want the others to at least contribute
Vinesh
15
Fogart
to
is leading.
20% of
Vinesh
the
Fogart is
vote
leading?
share.
Okay.
If the vote share of the others doesn't fall precipitously, they still have a chance in tightly contested seats.
See, even
Yeah.
in 2019,
Yeah.
northern Haryana was the region, the GT road belt of northern Haryana, where BJP did not lose.
No.
So they came down to 40 seats. This is a big stronghold. All their senior leaders, Anil Welch, Krishan Pal Gujjar, all come from this particular belt. If the BJP is not winning this region this time, I think we're looking at a
16-seat lead opened up by the Congress against the BJP, largely two-horse fight. There's another others candidate that's opened up in Haryana. Out of 50, it is 33 and 13. So clearly a 20-seat lead opened up by the Congress party, running away with the Haryana leads
So nothing
at
is
this
coming
point.
out from Ambala region,
this
which is
point,
right on top.
No
It's that
reporting
little
yet
area.
from
No,
Ambala.
This is what
this is the stronghold of the
Yes,
BJP
this
in
is what
Haryana.
he's
This is
talking
from
about.
where the strong leaders come. So if they're
Anil
losing
Vij
this-
is leading Ambala Kant. Anil
Yes.
Vij is
Oh,
leading
that's a good
Ambala
one,
Kant.
because in
Early on.
2019 in this particular area, BJP had 9, Congress had 6, the others had 3. So
So
there is
Anil Vij is
there
leading in
this
Ambala
Haryana like
Yes,
this,
yeah.
we may have Anil Vij come out and say
What?
that if you had made me the chief minister,
Yeah.
the results could have been different.
Well, we'll have to see whether Anil Vij says anything. As of now, we'll wait till the result. Jammu and Kashmir very tight, 15, 18, 5 and 2. That's the numbers. PDP on the leaderboard also with 2 leads. BJP with 15, Congress NC with 18. So it's neck and neck early on. 5 others who are there. How much this lead consolidates here? It's early days, ladies and gentlemen. Still postal ballots being counted. First round of counting of the ballot boxes or the EVMs has not yet started. It will start in about 15-20 minutes from now. We're going to understand.
In
See the
J&K, we'll
flash.
have to
Now this is the
constantly look
leaderboard, the halfway mark leaderboard.
others.
In terms of the
J&K
leads,
is the
it
others.
is the Congress which is racing closer to the halfway mark of 46 or the number. The big number, the majority number is 46, halfway is 45, majority number, magic figure is 46. Congress already 33, it's just about 13 short. But look at the BJP falling far behind, 20 seats behind. But these are early days. Will this change or will this only consolidate? And if it consolidates, will the Congress then race away all the way from here and go all the way across
The
and
Congress,
pass
by the
some
way,
number?
is now 2 seats more leading than what it got last time. Last
Nah.
time it was 31.
Yeah, now it's gone
up
to 38,
Now it's gone up to
38 seats. So they are clearly stealing a march and really running away. BJP adding 2 more seats to its leads, but the Congress has immediately added 5 more seats. Vinesh Fogart is leading in her constituency. Naib Singh Saini leading. Savitri Jindal is leading. Bhupinder Singh Hooda is leading. So there are candidates who are supposed to have hold on to their seats or win in their seats in their constituencies. They are leading.
Well, the
Savitri
others have
Jindal.
gone up to 5 also.
Yeah,
So, you've
others
got
have
be
gone up to,
looking at
but
that
largely
number.
2-horse race. The others are 5. So some of the pollsters predicted 10 to 12 seats for the others, the independents. How much do they come into play? We'll have to wait and watch. But as of now, Congress seems to be in pole position to form government very comfortably. Very comfortably.
Yeah,
So
is
much
not
of
open
it
yet.
will be able to
AAP
cut
0,
it through.
JJP 0 and INLD 0 and
zero.
Bhupinder Hooda will be
If you
looking
look
at
at the
Rajiv
region-
Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi and saying, I told you so, don't go with AAP, we don't need them.
The region-wise breakup, Congress is getting seats in the Rohtak belt and also, of course the rural parts beyond Rohtak. It's also getting further north in the Karnal belt, and here in the south, the new belt, where there was a lot of this communal violence stuff that happened. So if you look at the distribution, the Congress seems to be getting in different geographies. The BJP seats are still focused on this Ambala belt. We'll have to see if the BJP can overturn some of these results, but the Congress's spread seems to be a little
in the
more
Dalit belt and the Dalit belt.
We haven't got from Sirsa.
We
No,
have to
we
see if
haven't
the
got.
BJP makes any inroads there, or does the Congress sweep it all? Because
Yeah.
if it sweeps it all, then that lead will only consolidate further. So 38-15, 41 now, 41 to the Congress party, 15 to the BJP. So the leads really consolidating, 22 and 19. So this is quite neck and neck, ladies and gentlemen. If the Congress plus NC becomes the single largest political entity, then they are in pole position to form government, because the LG by rule will have to invite them first. And will they then be able to consolidate this grouping? Seven others, 3 PDP.
Anand,
So right now 24 plus 10, 34. They are then just about 12 short of that 46 number in the 90 assembly. Will they be able to cross 50 and even negate the 5 nominations of the LG? We'll have to wait and watch. 24-21 now. Yes.
You'll be quite surprised to know that there are some other channels. I don't know how they're doing this, but are seeming to still be giving the BJP leads in Haryana, dramatic leads in Haryana. So I don't know how that is happening. I don't know how that is happening, but fundamentally we're going to have to stick to our numbers, viewers. You're getting them straight from the ground.
Yeah.
There is
We can tell you one thing. Every 2-3 minutes or 5 minutes, you can keep taking screenshots of this screen, and the number that comes here, eventually compare it with all the other channels, and they will all come back to this number.
Yeah.
That's what happens every time. That's why we say you stay with us, because you will get the right numbers. Eventually, they will all circle back to this number, ladies and gentlemen. They will all settle in all the other screens, it will settle to this number. Whatever number you're seeing here on CNN News 18, when the time we call the results or the numbers are clear, it will settle to these numbers across all other screens. They may be doing whatever, Aji Baji there. Congress plus NC 24, BJP 21, others 7, PDP 3, 61 leads in Haryana and 41 to the Congress party. So higher, not just higher than the last time, but just about 5 short of getting across to that magic figure. So they are racing very, very close to this. Postal ballots have given the mandate to the Congress party. Is the postal ballot. These are leads again. But this is the early racing away of the Congress party.
We were talking about the firewall seats, Panipat, Sonipat. In all the seats in Panipat and Sonipat, the Congress is leading. So which means there is a big breach of the BJP's firewall that's happening. So I wouldn't be surprised if this races closer to 60 plus, maybe even closer to 65.
No, well, Rashid Kidwai said 67. That is the last time, the best ever of the Congress party. So 67 is what they should repeat, or if not best. Now we'll have to see. 42-16. So the BJP has a lot of catching up to do early on, these leads, and they will settle down after some time. May just consolidate further for the Congress party, ladies and gentlemen. Just 4 short of this magic figure here at top. You can see them racing past that number, and the moment they move into the 50s as far as the leads, very rarely does that happen, that it settles back to about 30 and they lose about 20-25 seats in leads. Early leads, postal ballots only, not even the first round of counting has begun. Once the first 2-3 rounds of the ballot boxes start getting counted, assembly elections, ladies and gentlemen, you'll start getting the drift very, very soon. This is tight. This is very, very close, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the BJP will be hoping they emerge as the single largest party or the entity alliance. The Congress plus NC will be saying, we hold on and we emerge as the single largest party or the alliance, because then they get the chance to form government first. That's what is very, very critical. Who comes here from there? The PDP may has
any
already
idea where the
indicated
leads are coming from in Jammu and Kashmir?
Jammu and Kashmir. Let's see.
So
Some of them are plotted.
7 seats the BJP is leading in Jammu. That's what we know. Jammu, Satish Sharma is an independent. He's leading there as well. Omar, of course, is leading in Badgam. We have Shamlal Sharma, who's leading from Jammu North. Narinder Singh, who's leading from the Araspura seat. So a bulk of the BJP's 23 seats are coming from Jammu. We don't have much reporting for BJP leads in Kashmir. Again, Congress NC leads, much of it is coming from Kashmir.
What
but
is that constituency
the Jammu
number 27
belt
on
seems
top?
to be.
27 on top. Constituency
We'll have to. It's not showing. It's not
showing yet. So we'll go to it. Interesting that is going up on the higher Kashmir division there, and you see a saffron.
So this election in Jammu and Kashmir is turning out to be the humdinger. Really,
Yeah.
it's a lot of people who are predicting that the individuals will not be sort of making any strides. Well, those greys, really, literally they are greys. They are grey horses running in that race. We don't quite know which way this will swing, but this is looking like not the walkover that the NC and the Congress were predicting till yesterday.
This has been settling for here for a
These
while.
are postal ballots.
These are postal
Very much
ballots,
so.
and the kind of demographic profile of this postal.
But I'll tell you
voter
something,
JNK
Rashid
is
bhai,
something
I'll tell you
different.
something. In the Lok Sabha elections, the postal ballots had also begun to show a particular trend, and we were all wondering, if this trend holds, the result will be quite different. And it actually did. It ended up holding. So, look, I'm just generally speaking.
Absolutely.
And there are people of different demographies also voting in the postal system. So, Aarti Tikku seems to suggest that fewer Kashmiri Hindus are voting, but.
Okay, just quickly going to
again,
the live
it's
result hub,
outcome that
Avantika.
determines.
Then I'll come back to our guests in studio. Yes, Avantika.
Anand, lots of developments happening. I'll just quickly go to Haryana. Haryana is busy right now. Jammu में काफी lead हो रही है वहाँ पर. बताइए leads. 9 सीटों पे लीड हो रही है अभी.
7 सीटों पे हो गई हैं.
7 सीटों पे. From 9 to 7. All right. और बताइए जम्मू के.
बडगाम से उमर अब्दुल्ला अब भी आगे हैं, उधमपुर सीट से बीजेपी आगे हैं, अखनूर से आगे हैं और पीडीपी 3 सीटों पर आगे चल रही है.
And Congress is doing really well on all these Sonipat seats. Gohana, Gannor, Baroda, Rai, Kharkhoda, they are doing really well. The Congress is doing well. So it's looking good for the Congress at least for now, 42. But again, I'll reiterate, it's just too early. And till all the numbers are out, we're not going to be calling it out just as yet.
No.
और बताइए और
It's too early to call and all. Let's not even talk about calling at this point. It's just early leads and it's just about 8:30 on the clock, and we've got at least about 5 to 6 rounds of counting before we see these leads and consolidate anywhere. Yes, Avantika.
Yes, I'll just quickly, इकबाल जी बताइए हरियाणा के बारे में.
हरियाणा से देखिए अभी तक जो है काफ़ी सीटें आ गई. देखिए अगर हम बात करें जुलाना से विनेश फोगाट जो है कांग्रेस से लीड कर रही हैं. अगर हम बात करें सोनीपत की सभी सीटों पे कांग्रेस लीड कर रही है. एक सीट पे इंडिपेंडेंट लीड कर रही है. इसी तरह अगर नायब सिंह सैनी की हम बात करें वो भी बीजेपी से लीडिंग कर रही है और भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा भी जो है वो लीड कर रहे हैं. यानी कि अब तक का जो अगर लीड देखा जाए तो कांग्रेस लगातार 43.
Vinesh Fogart leading is also interesting. Anand, she fought the entire campaign on Julana ki Bahu, and she fought a very aggressive campaign. She led a very aggressive campaign and fought a great election. So these are the initial leads right now. I'll keep coming back to you and giving you the updates.
Right.
So for now, back to the studio.
So Vinesh Fogart leading from Julana. Now there is a 6-seat lead that the Congress NC has opened up against the BJP in Jammu and Kashmir.
So Anand, are you noticing something about Jammu and Kashmir?
Yeah.
Some of the exit polls had given BJP around 23, 24 seats.
Yeah.
So the exit polls seem to have faltered a bit, because if these trends hold, the BJP looks northwards of 25. Because remember, we haven't still even opened.
Northwards of 25, but look at the independent numbers. The independent numbers are also somewhere which are significant, because there are 10
have the exit polls actually overestimated the pull, the traction of the Congress NC?
So
now
in
that
Haryana, the Congress has hit 46, which is the halfway mark.
So there you go, the magic
leads.
figure in terms of leads. There you go. Haryana Congress is right at the magic figure right now. The BJP climbing up, inching slowly, but 18, far behind the Congress, which is right here at the magic figure of 46.
In that very famous election in Bihar, all the leads changed post 12. So look, I don't think we.
बिहारने का ख्याल अच्छा है.
नहीं, he's being provocative.
अगर बिहार जैसी परिस्थिति रशीद कितवाई होती है और फिर आपने वोट शेयर की बात की, तो अभी थोड़ी देर पहले जो आपने बोला उसको मैं वापस चलवाऊंगा.
आई एम टेकिंग टू आनंद. आई एम सेइंग दिल को बहलाने का ख्याल अच्छा है. यू कैन गिव बिहार एग्जांपल. इट्स गुड, बट हाफ एन आवर व्हाट विल यू से देन?
No, but I think one trend that is holding true, which Rahul has been saying, is in Haryana, the smaller parties, AAP, JJP, INLD, all zero.
Wiped out. It's a two-horse race.
That is helping the Congress.
That is helping
in a two-horse race, generally, even with a 2-3% vote share swing, the winner takes all. So the Congress should only consolidate from 46,
so what's
and they should go up to 70.
Jammu and Kashmir are the grey horses. And the PDP that is doing,
PDP is leading in 4 right now. 4. PDP is leading in 4. There are many pollsters who did not want to give it any seats. There were others who believed that giving the PDP about 6 to 7 seats is a lot, because there's a huge sentiment against the PDP on ground. They don't want the PDP there at all. But they are leading in 4, and that becomes critical for the Congress plus NC, that they cannot form government without the PDP. So that's what something which the PDP also said कि वो सरकार बना तो सकते हैं लेकिन हमारे बिना बनाना मुश्किल है. And then Iltija Mufti said like let's all calm down, let's all pipe down. Omar Abdullah said let's all calm down, let's all pipe down.
What's happening in the other seat where Omar Abdullah is? Do we have those?
Budgam, no.
We don't know.
You know, he's dealing in Budgam, which is the new seat that he's fighting from
right.
the traditional family bastion of Ganderbal. There's no reporting yet.
Because remember that one seat will have to be sort of.
Well, some of the leads are coming in early on, and then they are not strong enough or robust enough for it to be plotted on the map. So that's why you may see a little bit of a disparity. But it's all the postal ballot numbers which are coming through. 19 and 46 right now for Haryana, 31 and 26 in Jammu and Kashmir. Others have hit double digits in Jammu and Kashmir. Others inching up to 6 in Haryana. But it's a two-horse race.
What is worrying me about Jammu and Kashmir right now?
Is currently beating the BJP hollow.
What is worrying me about Jammu and Kashmir right now is that seat that you were talking about, Gurez, etc. That it looks like a very polarized election. Very polarized. So Jammu is one way, you know, Kashmir is another. BJP is certainly not making inroads in Kashmir, which is worrying. Which also suggests
but
that
if there are 10 independents,
there is no recognition and appreciation.
No, Rahul, one thing. If there are 10 independents, in Kashmir, out of the 46 seats, then that is significant. And if this independent number goes up to 15, that is also significant because there is an alternative politics.
I'm playing devil's advocate because
independents are independent.
Yes, and that's right. Yeah. See, that's the point I'm making. They can go any which way. But the fact is, and this is what upsets a little bit, is that Kashmir itself, the valley has not known such a transformation where you have peace. You have people going to movie halls in 34 years.
No, they're playing cricket at 11:30 at night.
You have Shias who have been able to celebrate Muharram in 37 years. And if the BJP is not given its due, I'm sorry, it suggests that there is something. I've been asked not to call it prejudice, but they're a victim of their perception. And this is a very, very rotten campaign that has been run by the NC and the Congress, promising everything. I'm sorry, promising a lot when they know they can't deliver. They can't deliver on Article 370. They can't deliver on state.
Rahul, there is nothing unusual. If we go back and we see what had happened in Mizoram, elected Congress government, you know, they resigned and Mizo National Front won. So it happens and the Congress got nothing in return. That happened during Rajiv Gandhi's time. In Punjab, in several states it happens like that. In Assam also.
They gave Telangana, they were
absolutely.
lost in Telangana.
So these are the political parties, national political parties, you know, tend to make, you know, sacrifices in the larger national interest. If it's happening in Kashmir, we should be welcoming it. Rather than, you know, criticizing it.
See, one part is that the BJP
did
not actively
welcome it. I will never welcome it because look at the record of the NC and the PDP. What did they give Kashmir all these years? And they kept blaming the centre.
Look at the record of National Conference, you know, losing their political workers in the insurgency. Not in ones, not in tens, but in thousands.
Sir, the National Conference is youth wing, and they only had another wing which was very closely working with the Jamaat-e-Islami.
Yes.
The National Conference rule only allowed the Jamaat-e-Islami to seed in their teachers at basic level education, and the corruption of the education system happened in Jammu and Kashmir. So a lot of things happened under the Nehru syndrome. Somebody was kept in jail. Let's not get in the past.
Let's get back to the
we come back to what's happening today. What's happening today is that this aspect of 10 seats. One thing that we need to look at is these 10 seats. That means there is an alternative story that is building. The other thing is Tiku, that the BJP did not contest all 46 seats in the Kashmir division. They have fielded about 15 or 18 candidates max. That's what they've done.
18.
18. So how those 18 perform, what vote share they get will be a story in itself if there is an alternative there. But this is close. This is not going to be an easy race for anybody. Rashid Kidwai.
Yeah, I think it's again I would say the postal ballots too early, but of course if there is in postal ballots also, if NC Congress is ahead, maybe in actual results also they will be ahead. This is my reading of situation. Who forms the government is the time to tell.
No, I think the upper sort of wall that the BJP needs to breach is 35 because they can count on the support of, let's say, 10 independents to get to the halfway mark of 45. Whereas for the Congress NC, it would be 40. Because they can count on the PDP. The PDP will eventually, whether it's through outside support or part of government, PDP, whatever seats that they get, 4 or 5, will support the Congress and NC. So I think the two different yardsticks also need to be kept in mind. If the BJP needs to hit 35 and count on the support of 10 to 12 independents to go past the halfway, whereas for Congress NC, the ceiling is higher. They need to get to 40.
But here's the thing, there's a possibility that both parties or both combines may have 35 seats each. So if Congress plus NC has 35, BJP has 35, then who gets invited first?
Well, that will only happen
because the whole dynamic changes. 90 seats plus 5, so 95.
Yes.
So there are two parties, two entities which can get 35, 35, 70 seats. Baki ki 25 seats is what going to change.
But
the
that
whole
will happen
game
only if there is a massive consolidation in favor of the BJP in Jammu. So, the BJP is really betting big on Jammu, and they're hoping that the conversion rate is about 85.
See, 34 and 27, 7-seat
85,
lead opened up by the Congress NC combined in Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, Advaita Kala?
So don't agree with me.
No, I'm agreeing with you because the BJP, as far as postal ballots is concerned, they are not getting.
Okay, Congress 51 in Haryana. Congress 51 in Haryana. 51 leads in Haryana. 30-seat lead from the BJP. That's what it's opened up. It's a big lead that the Congress has opened up. Yes, Avantika.
We also got an update, Anand, on Gurez. Nazir Ahmed Khan is leading right now. और बताइए उनका कितना?
Yes, Nazir Khan from NC is leading, and BJP candidate Fakir Khan is trailing as of now.
Okay,
so Fakir versus Nazir में Nazir आगे चल रहे हैं.
Yes.
So that was the whole narrative. Ishan was saying Fakir versus Wazir.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. The point is that the Valley seems to be reposing faith in individuals that really sold them salt instead of sugar. And that's where the problem is. And look, I'm not making any.
Let's not question the sagacity of voters of Jammu and Kashmir. It's a very welcoming thing that there has been democratic participation in a troubled state in a very big way.
Rahul, as they say, when life gives you lemons, make lemons.
Sorry, sir. If the voter is going to pick a separatist, if someone like Engineer Rashid, and I was very, very clear, even in the Lok Sabha election, if they're going to pick separatists, then sir, I'm sorry, but I don't agree with the sagacity of the voter.
All right, seriously. Congress plus NC 36, BJP is 28, and and others are 11. Others are 11. PDP is 4. Again, in Haryana, 21-53. That's the number. Others are 6. So it's a two-horse race in Haryana very clearly, and Congress stealing a March 32-seat lead already over the BJP. These are just postal ballots. The rounds of counting have to come. Bhupinder Hooda has told all Congress workers that you have to wait till the last round is counted in the strong rooms. Don't leave the strong rooms. The BJP is also saying, बैठे रहो, वहीं रहो, हिलना नहीं, एक-एक वोट ढंग से count करो, because if it's a two-horse race, then every vote counts, ladies and gentlemen, and the margins may.
So in Haryana, we have 80 seats that are reporting. Only 10 more seats to be where the EVMs need to be opened and the counting needs to come from. So out of 80 seats, 53 to Congress, 21 to BJP. Will this reverse completely, where Congress comes down below 45 and BJP inches up to 35 or 40? Well, I think it's still too early to say, but that would be very, very unlikely at this stage.
Jammu and Kashmir 79 and the Congress inching up to 40.
Big update coming.
I have a message from the Hooda camp. They are confident they're going to win at least 65 seats in Haryana. They are extremely confident. They also say that this is a classic case where the Congress did its campaign absolutely spot on in Haryana, giving their top leader, who's the most popular leader in Haryana, the charge of the campaign very, very early. The state president was also on the same page and was a close aide of Bhupinder Singh Hooda. This is the result when the party works cohesively in Haryana, and the results are there to show.
And Rashid Kidwai is saying
victory has a lot of fathers, as they say. Victory has a lot of fathers. People will all come out and say,
they've said Jawan. No, they've got their narrative also right. They had 3 planks: Jawan, Kisan, and Pehlwan, and they've milked that on ground. And that's and it's Bhupinder Hooda has led the campaign. 80% of his candidates.
But on Jammu and Kashmir, big update coming in.
Okay, we've got news coming through. We've got news coming through.
BJP has deputed senior BJP leaders to the Kashmir Valley. They expected to already hold talks.
Yeah, Tarun Chok, Devendra Rana have been deputed in Jammu and Kashmir. Devendra Rana, clearly past master. He used to be with the National Conference before. Now he's with the BJP.
Past master? At what? What are you trying to suggest?
In electoral politics.
Oh, like-minded. Oh, yes.
Electoral politics. And the BJP sending feelers in Jammu and Kashmir as the counting has now begun. Clearly, they believe that they will be in, and this numbers could change. This is when Tarun Chok and Devendra Rana have been deputed in Jammu and Kashmir at a time when the Congress NC is currently leading by 8 seats. It's leading the BJP by 8 seats, but the BJP is the single largest
discount the PDP
party.
From that math, you're already seeing 40 for the BJP. If all the others pitch in with the BJP, you're seeing that number at 40. You're seeing Congress NCP at 36. and you're seeing the PDP at 4. Assuming that the PDP will throw in its lot with their old partners,
so it's 40
that
and
puts
40.
them in 40. So it's a neck and neck.
It's neck and neck. And what happens? Let's listen to Omar Abdullah, and one gets the feeling that if the Congress NC get up to 40-42 seats, a lot of these independents will also swing that way. They may not go with the BJP. But let's listen into Omar Abdullah.
वो ट्रांसपेरेंट तरीके से होना चाहिए और लोगों का जो मैंडेट है उसके साथ छेड़छाड़ होनी नहीं चाहिए। अगर लोगों का मैंडेट बीजेपी के खिलाफ निकला तो बीजेपी को फिर इसमें कोई जुगाड़ और वो इस तरह की हरकतें करनी नहीं चाहिए। राजभवन को और मरकज़ की हुकूमत को जिस तरह हम लोगों का फ़ैसला तस्लीम करते हैं, पार्लियामेंट में तस्लीम किया, आज जो भी लोगों का फ़ैसला होगा हमारे हुक्मरान जो हैं उस फैसले को तस्लीम करें, वही है।
कोalition पर कितनी कॉन्फिडेंस है? एक वजन है जो कोalition हुई है एनसी कांग्रेस में।
अब कोalition तो हमने की इसलिए कि इलेक्शन में कामयाबी मिले और इंशाल्लाह कामयाबी की उम्मीद रखें।
जो कमेटी बनती है नॉमिनेशन की, उस पर किस तरह?
किस चीज़ की कमेटी?
जो 5 मेंबरों की होती है, जो एमएलए वगैरह।
देखिए अब इस पे तो कुछ वकीलों ने अपनी राय दी है। हमारे एक वकील जिन्होंने नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस की भी, वो लद्दाख के मामले में आपको याद होगा सुप्रीम कोर्ट में हमारे लिए कामयाबी हासिल की, उन्होंने कहा है कि गवर्नर साहब को अपने आप पे कोई इख्तियारात नहीं है कि वो ये सीटें भरें। ये सीटें अगर भरी जाएंगी तो असेंबली कायम होने के बाद और हुकूमत की जो राय है, पार्लियामेंट में भी यही होता है। प्रणब मुखर्जी साहब प्रेसिडेंट थे, कांग्रेस के बने हुए प्रेसिडेंट थे, लेकिन जब नॉमिनेशंस किए तो मोदी साहब की हुकूमत के राय के मुताबिक किए, कांग्रेस के उन्होंने मेंबर नहीं चुने। तो इसी तरह बेशक गवर्नर साहब मरकज़ की हुकूमत के यहाँ नुमाइंदे हों, लेकिन उन्हें आइन का ख्याल रखना चाहिए और ये 5 सीटें अगर भरी जाएं तो यहाँ की हुकूमत जो बनती है आज उसकी राय के मुताबिक।
पीडीपी की कोई तजवीज़ मिली है?
नहीं ना हमने उनका कोई तजवीज़ ढूंढा, ना उनके तरफ से कोई तजवीज़ हमें मिली है। आज नतीजे निकल जाने दीजिए ना। पता नहीं क्यों हम इतने बेचैन हैं कि इन्होंने क्या किया, उन्होंने क्या किया। अभी किसी के पास नंबर नहीं है।
सुना था महबूबा जी ने कहा वी आर रेडी टू प्रोवाइड सपोर्ट इफ नीड।
नहीं ना, वो नहीं कहा। जो मैंने सुना वो ये कहा कि हमने कोई फैसला नहीं किया है और हम नतीजों के बाद फैसला करेंगे। पता नहीं हमारे तरफ से इतनी बेचैनी क्यों है कि हम फटाफट कूद जाते हैं और कहते हैं ना कि हम जी बस उनके समर्थन का खैर मकदम करते हैं। उनका समर्थन ना हमने मांगा, ना वहाँ से मिला, ना फिलहाल उसकी कोई ज़रूरत है। नतीजे निकल जाने दीजिए, उसके बाद तमाम पार्टियां जो हैं बैठ के उन पे जो है अपना वो करेंगे एनालिसिस।
Sir, early trends are giving an edge to NC.
No, I don't go by early trends.
So Omar Abdullah somewhere telling his own father off, say, why are you so eager to go and welcome any kind of support or being offered, etc. Let them first talk about it, let the numbers settle. We have not spoken to anybody, nobody supported this basically with the question of the PDP. But look at the number, ladies and gentlemen. Congress NC is now at 40 seats, opening up a 11-seat gap with the BJP, 11 others and 5 with the PDP. So the PDP also is coming closer to what the exit polls had predicted, and the Congress NC is also coming in the range of what the exit pollsters had predicted. These are still early days, but will these leads consolidate? The BJP is at 22, similar to what the exit pollsters had predicted in Haryana. And look at the Congress party. That 55 seat mark, which was the average between 55 to 60, that's where they're already getting close to at 54, comfortably way past the magic figure and very, very comfortably in a position right now to form the government. Will these leads hold? Will they further consolidate in favor of Bhupinder Singh Hooda and the Congress party? We'll have to wait and watch in Haryana. And then this one, if this also happens and if this stays true, if they stay at 40, Rahul Shivshankar and Zakir Jacob, that means it's a Congress NC which will be
I've been saying this, the ceiling for Congress
40,
NC is 40, the ceiling for BJP is 35. Congress NC is at 40. If they have the support of the PDP, they've already reached the halfway mark of 45. So, like I said, this has to stay. This result has to hold. This lead has to hold.
Remember, the BJP tied
29
up,
has to reach 35.
The BJP tied up with the PDP with similar numbers. So don't forget.
But that scenario was different.
No, but PDP had 28. Now they have 5.
I know. No, I'm just saying that at that time also the BJP didn't have 30 plus.
It had 26.
It has 26. So when we talk about ceilings, the BJP could be in the game even with around 29 to 30 seats.
Now, in this case, when there are 12 others, now there are 12 others, and look at the lead. It's at 41.
That's right.
In a scenario like this,
That's
there is
right.
no place for the BJP in this because the Congress, NC plus the others itself will make up the numbers.
Yes.
there.
Yes.
That's
Even if
what's
you had
gonna
28
happen.
and 12, it doesn't reach 46, which is the halfway mark.
I wouldn't jump to the conclusion that the others will go with NC and Congress. You know, there has been a lot of bad blood between the others and the NC. Remember, the others are also looking to carve out their own niche for themselves. They want to actually not fall back on the so-called dynastic party.
See, this Gupkar gang, Gupkar grouping will come together. PDP will come eventually. Thoda drama.
And don't forget,
Omar
at the end
Abdullah
of
will
the
say,
day,
"You come on my terms." Mehbooba will say, "You come and invite me." There'll be some
At the
ego
end of the
battles, but
day, there is
eventually
a
they'll sit and have a cup of kava
It
together.
is very interesting that Rahul Shivshankar is saying that the BJP can do business with PDP, having dubbed them as anti-national and kind of thing, and that explains the kind of practical approach of political parties. You were a while ago you were saying that that it is sad
I wasn't
that,
talking about the PDP, I was talking about the others. Even there, I agree with you, sir, that there is no like-minded party as far as the Kashmir Valley is concerned and
But
the
BJP
BJP
thinks
is
so.
concerned.
But
the
BJP
BJP
thinks
thinks so. And they'll have to do what they have to do. But my point is that it appears to me that if the Congress, NC and PDP form this government, there will be widespread disillusionment in Jammu.
No, what is
Jammu
going
can't
to
be
happen,
left out of the
we'll
equation.
talk about once the numbers
Also,
settle.
the numbers don't add up,
Yeah.
Rahul. 28 and 12 adds up to 40. They're still 6 short. Whereas the others, 41 plus 5 is 46.
No, they will
So
be
the number,
short.
which is why I say that the BJP has to cross the threshold
Yes.
of 35 plus.
No, I understand.
For,
And
for
the
the
numbers have to add up to 48. Eventually, they
Eventually
have to
48,
they
yes,
have
correct.
to add up to 48. Even if, let's say, whatever happens and the 5 nomination members are from the BJP, it is still for 28 plus 12 plus 5. What is it? It's still 45. You're still 3 short. But look at the Congress and PDP will eventually come there. They're already at 46. They need only 3 more from the independent. They
My
don't need to even
point
depend
is,
on the nominations.
Can we discount a Jammu presence in government? And that's what's really
My point is whoever has got the numbers will decide. Now if this is how the voters have voted, then the Jammu voters have to think that they themselves have given away their opportunity. If they believe that the Congress will represent them well, because Congress's gains in that 41 will have to happen from Jammu. Now that means that there are people who have voted for the Congress in Jammu and they believe that the Congress will do what they believe they will do for them in Jammu. So that's possible. Anshul is joining us from the Congress office. Yes, Anshul.
So yes, the situation outside, in fact inside the Congress office out here at the headquarters is of celebrations that can be sensed over here. Already celebrations had started over here at the Congress party office. But since these are just the initial numbers that have come to the fore, the decision has been taken to make sure that the celebration does not start already, and hence the dhols and the sweets that have been brought over here, they have been stopped as of now. None of the senior leaders of the Congress party have reached over here. I'll just try and show you in the visuals around here. There are a few workers of the Congress party who have reached over here. They are expecting that they will get a massive victory today in both these states, be it Haryana or in Jammu Kashmir as well. Pawan Khera has just reached over here. Apart from him, there is no other senior leader of the Congress party who has come over here. So definitely there is a lot on stake for the Congress party over here, because the workers are at least expecting that in both these states they will have a massive majority. Will that happen? How much of that will turn into reality? That is something that remains to be
We'll
seen.
try and get a word in from Pawan Khera when he finishes speaking with the waiting media there, Anshul. But Aditya Surjewala is leading from Kaithal. So Aditya Surjewala leading from Kaithal, and the early trends show that the exit polls will hold. The early trends show that the exit polls will hold. Congress plus NC has got the numbers in Jammu and Kashmir in pole position to form or stake to form government there, and the Congress party is running away with the leads in Haryana as predicted by the exit pollsters. So far at about 8:50 this morning on Result Day Live, this is how the numbers look. It looks like the Congress plus NC in Jammu and Kashmir will be in pole position to form government, and in Haryana it will be the Congress party with a very comfortable majority, looking at going past 60 plus. The others, INLD now in the leaderboard with 3 leads.
Yeah, all three of them, Arjun Chautala, Abhay Chautala, all 3 of them are leading in their respective constituencies. Aditya Devilal of the INLD is also leading. So these three constituencies from Dabwali, which is of course in the westernmost part of Haryana, Arjun Chautala is leading and Abhay Chautala is also leading. So three. So again, one of the other smaller stories, side stories that you will see in Haryana is the Jat vote which went to the newly formed party, the JJP, in the last election. A lot of that Jat vote is coming back home. Ghar wapsi ho rahi hai, it's coming back to the INLD. So I think you will also see, Aman, and you can weigh in on this, maybe a consolidation of the whole family politics within the Chautala family.
And how it's plotting is also against the BJP in their core areas, strong areas.
INLD had given a lot of tickets this time, whatever tickets it gave, a lot of them to Jat candidates this time, and we see all the three Chautalas also winning. See, the JJP is seen as a traitor by the Jat community because they tied up with the BJP post the last result. That is why we see this hammering of the JJP in this election. And I think the BJP did well by breaking the alliance with JJP because they knew it would have negative
So for the first time, we're getting 90 out of 90 leads now coming in from
almost
Haryana.
90 out of, yes, that is why I'm saying the Hudas are very confident of touching 65 by the end of the day because the results tend to consolidate more in the favor of whoever is leading. I would say even in this, the belt, the Jat belt up to Sirsa, the Congress is expected to sweep it, and you can see the GT road belt, the Congress winning big time.
Clearly, it's winning. It's winning in Karnal. It's winning in Panipat, Sonipat. We're not getting much reporting from Ambala, but all the way down to Rohtak. So 3 or 4 districts here in this belt, the GT road belt.
If they're winning Karnal and Kurukshetra, that's a big thing because Manohar Lal Khattar comes from Karnal.
Let's check the live results. Have the ballot boxes been opened? When I say ballot boxes, have the EVM counting, has it begun? In how many constituencies have we had at least 1 or 2 rounds of counting? We'll try and ask Avantika. Avantika, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Anand. We're just keeping track of that, and these leads are just coming in right now. It's looking good for the Chautalas, as Zaka was also just mentioning. इकबाल जी बताइए कि हरियाणा में अभी और जितने भी अभी आ रहे हैं ये जो नंबर आ रहे हैं तो ये जो जितनी भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज है अभी आपको कहाँ से खबर आ रही है?
अभी लेटेस्ट कुरुक्षेत्र से भी अपडेट आ गया है कि कुरुक्षेत्र में 3 सीटों पे जो है कांग्रेस आगे लीड कर रही है। वहीं कुरुक्षेत्र की जो लाडवा सीट थी वहाँ से सीएम सैनी भी लीड कर रहे हैं, लेकिन बाकी 3 सीटों पे कांग्रेस लीड कर रही है। अगर हम बात करें चौटाला परिवार की तो देखिए सभी चौटाला परिवार के सभी लोग जो है वो लीड कर रहे हैं सभी सीटों पर। तो वहीं पर अगर और दूसरी सीटों की बात करें
जी, so Arjun Chautala, Aditya Chautala, Abhay Chautala, let's also quickly get you an update from Jammu and Kashmir. जल्दी बताइए।
कुछ बड़े नाम अभी लीड कर रहे हैं, जैसे जम्मू कश्मीर अपनी पार्टी के प्रेसिडेंट अल्ताफ बुखारी छानपुरा से लीड कर रहे हैं और जेकेपीसीसी के प्रेसिडेंट जो है तारिक हमीद कर रहा है सेंट्रल स्टार्टिंग से ही इज लीडिंग। अमर इज स्टिल लीडिंग बड़गाम।
And what about Mehbooba
Avantika, please let us know how many rounds of counting in the counting centers.
कितने राउंड के काउंटिंग हो गए हैं अभी तक?
अभी पोस्टल ही स्टार्ट ही हुआ है वहाँ पे।
पोस्टल ही हो रहा है।
स्टार्ट ही हुआ है।
It's still the postal ballots. It's still the postal ballots. So early days, it's still the postal ballots. The EVMs have not yet been opened. We need to keep track of this, that the EVMs have not yet been opened. 2-3 rounds of counting. Will this further consolidate or will this change? We'll have to wait and watch. The Congress leading on 56, BJP on 23, others on 8, INLD at 3, 90 leads among the postal ballots only. Congress plus NC at 42 leads in Jammu and Kashmir, 29 leads for the BJP, so trailing by about 12 here in Jammu and Kashmir. And then you have the others which have got 12, and the PDP is leading at 5. These are still postal ballots. The first round of EVM counting has not yet started. We will alert you viewers the moment the first round of EVM counting begins in some of the constituencies. It may not happen simultaneously, it may happen across some constituencies. But if you look at this scenario, Amitabh Mattu is with us, Advaita Kala is with us. Are you willing to take these numbers with the postal ballot leads, or do you believe there could be a change on the leaderboard? Advaita Kala.
It's postal ballots. I mean, 2 words. Very, very, very early in the game. So nothing to really get too excited or too disappointed or too analytical about. So let's just wait.
But do you believe this could show an indicated trend, or this could change?
Hard to say really at this point, Anand. I think, the exit polls seem to be reflecting what's showing up on the leaderboard. But
but what's the conversation in Gurgaon?
In Gurgaon, the conversation is usually about traffic, so I don't think anyone's really tracking this, to be honest.
Right now,
no, but I'm sure there must have been some chatter in the veranda club.
Well, I think in Gurgaon, really, I mean, it's the usual. Everyone's always disappointed all the time. So it
But they
doesn't
don't
really
come out to
matter.
vote,
They
do they?
don't come out to vote. So
I think it was under
I think
50%, by the way, less than
Yeah.
half of the
Yeah.
constituency.
Did you vote?
of course.
You did. Okay.
Of course.
Amitabh Mattuji?
I think the postal ballots seem to reflect the exit poll trends, and they reflect the kind of street gossip and the anecdotal wisdom which we discussed yesterday, especially in J&K. You have Congress NC 44, PDP 5 and BJP 29. That reflects, I would say, unlike Advait Kala, who I greatly admire as a great analyst, but who's sitting on the fence today, but I think I would completely agree with the postal ballots as reflective of a trend. But I could be wrong completely
So
by the end
you
of the day.
think Congress NC are now within shot of, I mean, they're too short of halfway mark.
If the PDP decides to support them, then they're
They're well past,
virtually
yeah, they're
through.
49.
Yeah.
No, but PDP ke saath there'll be some other independents also, they will come through, and they don't even need to rely on the nominations now. That becomes a non-issue because 48 will be the number that
If
you
this
have to
number
have.
holds,
In
it's
this
game
scenario,
over
they already can
for the
cross
BJP.
50 comfortably.
Can we decide on who the nominees would be? Because I wanted to make that pitch yesterday that Aarti should be one of the people from the.
And I strongly recommend Amitabh Mattu should be the Lieutenant Governor of J&K.
That I don't mind at all.
So then both of you will have to dial not only the LG's office, you'll also have to dial Omar Abdullah. Because,
If the facts
at the moment
there
it seems.
is a serious issue
Yeah.
here, beyond the mirth around this, that there is a political debate happening in Srinagar about the nominees, about can the Lieutenant Governor nominate them before, or it has to be with the consent of the government. There's a Puducherry example that's been given out, but the BJP's president there has been saying that look, we can do it irrespective of this.
The
right?
rule book.
Yesterday, a BJP leader from Kashmir actually identified the people who
Yeah,
have been nominated.
maybe he named those he did not want
But look,
to be.
I think if these numbers hold, the LG is not going to go against
They
the
don't come
sentiment.
into play. They don't come into play.
Yeah, and
You
he's
don't
not
need
going to
the-
go
They
against
don't
the
come into
sentiment.
play.
He'll probably doff his hat to the greater wisdom of the cabinet. You think, well, it doesn't really make a difference, does it? Does it even make a difference? It doesn't make a difference on the ground. I mean, that particular lead now, 45, you're seeing Congress
short
and
of the
NC.
halfway mark, yeah. They're at the halfway mark.
No, they are at the
BJP
halfway mark.
seems
See,
to
the
have been
Congress
stuck
NC
there
is
now
at
for
the
the last
halfway
20
mark
minutes at 28.
Yeah. With
So-
respect to the postal ballot. Now, Congress ex-Punjab CM Charanjit Channi is also in Jammu and Kashmir currently.
Right.
So he's been sent there, he's been deputed there. Early leads, okay, obviously in favor of the Congress NC, 45 and 28. So one more and then they are they are at the magic number. So that's what happens. In Haryana, they are way past the magic number. But yeah, BJP increasing its lead, 23, Congress slipping down to 56. One seat does not make a difference. 33 ka seat ka lead hai.
No, this is very clearly in Haryana, a two-horse race.
Two-horse race.
And the Congress have...
So the postal ballots indicate the larger trend. You believe this is not going to be bucked. This is not going to change.
As in, if you were to take this as a straw poll, then the sentiment seems to be decidedly in favor of the Congress there.
Yeah, but more than what's going to happen in Haryana, if this holds in Jammu and Kashmir, then there is a huge, turn of turmoil that will happen. Saifuddin Sosa was there that day and he says they will give stability, but will they be consistent? This is Congress and NC will be stable. But the fact is that you are going to be at constant friction with the LG's office and at the center. And how is that going to queer the pitch for Jammu and Kashmir after 5 years of trying to, set
full
things right?
statehood would do that.
Huh?
Full state restoration of full statehood would do that.
Restoration
No,
of full
but
statehood will do
they'll have
what?
to still go back and amend the J&K Reorganization Act. I think the powers of the LG come from the J&K Reorganization Act, which of course has to be amended in Parliament.
Zaka, it should be done as per aspirations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying that the procedure is it has to be done in Parliament.
No,
It can't be done in the state assembly.
full statehood at what cost is going to be another question that's going to be asked. At full statehood, are you going to go
Cost
back
of
and
national
dial it?
interest?
No, dial it back to what the scenario was in 2010 and 2014. Is that what you want? Is that what you're going to give?
It's not that what I want.
Is the Congress
Has there
party?
been any
Is the Congress
precedence of a
party?
full
Is the
statehood
Congress
was
party?
denied to a
Is the
state
Congress
and
party
it was-
in Congress party in power with the national conference?
No,
Is it
Zaka,
going to assure the rest of the
but
people of the
to
country
Anand, tell me
that you are
what
not going to allow
qualitative
Jammu and
difference it
Kashmir to
makes if
slip
you're
back
talking
into
about
what it was
separatism?
in 2010, 2014?
What he is saying is that essentially we want J&K as an equal state of the Indian Union, not special. 370 and the rest of it is history. You can't wind the clock back. But today it should enjoy the powers of a West Bengal or a Andhra Pradesh or a Tamil Nadu. And the
Fair
Chief
enough.
Minister,
So will the Congress party then say it out openly that we are not dialing back the clock back?
they should.
As the national party, will you want the Congress party to say we will not dial the clock back?
Which clock?
That is going back to
Going
Article
back,
370.
restoring 370.
No,
Restoring 370.
Look, if you're talking about, checking separatism, terrorism, etc., cross-border terrorism.
Why are you not unequal? Are you saying that you would like the
UT
Congress party to bring back Article
it's not
370?
it is for the Congress party to respond.
No,
What
then
I'm
why
saying
aren't you
is,
responding?
it makes
if you
no
want
qualitative
equal status, if you want full status, then you should commit to
See,
Ek
you are a
Desh, Ek
serious
Vidhan, Ek
minded-
Samvidhan.
you are a journalist. You understand what qualitative difference it makes that as fighting terrorism between Union territory and a full statehood. Tell me that.
No, I am asking you.
No,
You are
what is the
also a seasoned
qualitative
journalist. Do you agree that this should be Ek Desh, Ek Vidhan, Ek Samvidhan? Do you agree that Jammu and Kashmir should be an equal state like West Bengal, not have its own separate constitution?
It is in constitutional scheme. It is very much there.
No. So I am asking you, do you believe, if you believe that it
If
should
you're
have the
talking about
same status
370,
as
we should
West
talk
Bengal,
about 371
if you
also.
say it
No,
should
no,
have the
there
same,
is 371
I am
is there in
asking you,
several
if you
states.
believe, like Amitabh Mattu said, it should have the same equal status as West Bengal or Karnataka and any other
absolutely.
state, then it should have only one constitution and it should adhere to
There is
only
one
one flag.
constitution.
So then the Congress should say there is no going back.
So there is one constitution.
Agree or disagree?
As for look, you are talking about 370. The similar concessions have been given to
No.
several northeastern states.
Then don't talk about the same equality as West
There's
Bengal.
a difference here.
They've hit
Hang on.
46.
There is a
They've hit
pre-1953
46.
status.
Just one second. They've hit 46, which is the
Yeah,
halfway
so that's
mark.
the halfway
Which is
number
the
in
halfway
Jammu and
mark,
Kashmir,
yeah,
the
in
magic
Jammu and
figure. So the Congress, NC in Jammu and Kashmir and the Congress in Haryana touching that magic figure. As far as the leads, the counting, the ballot boxes, when I say the EVMs have not yet been opened, EVM counting has not yet begun. The moment EVM counting begins, we will let you know. And I'm going to request our team and also the live result hub to let us know the moment EVM counting begins in some of the constituencies. So we'll just get an alert from
I do
Avantika.
have a question for the panel. If it stays at this 46, 27, 12 in Jammu and Kashmir and Congress NC has crossed the halfway mark, LG is duty bound to invite Congress NC? That's the law?
I mean, single largest party, which should be the NC, and also as a
pre-poll alliance.
as a pre-poll alliance with the majority, absolutely no-brainer.
Yeah, there's
No, and then Congress NC 46 means that Jammu has also voted for the Congress.
You would have
I mean,
some
we'll
Yeah,
need to
so,
look at
so
that.
the Congress's seats, Congress's purchase is from the Jammu
Well, there are
region.
some blues.
Yeah, there are blues in the
map
Jammu
now,
region. So
if you
Congress's
just have a
purchase
look.
is from the Jammu region.
Yeah, and you imagine that Jammu division includes Chenab, in which the NC might also have had.
Yeah, because there are some Muslim-dominated seats there also. So there looks like
No,
this is not a result that the BJP would be very pleased about. In fact, as far as
it's
Jammu
the
is
people of
concerned.
Jammu and Kashmir, what they vote and what they choose. But the larger story is, are they choosing it under the constitution to respect the constitution and the tricolor and to be integrated, or once again go into that entire aspect, or let's go back that road and go back 10 years.
Clearly,
5 years.
Anand, clearly,
must respect.
No, one second. No, I'm sorry, but like snake oil salesman, a lot of promises were made to the public in Jammu and Kashmir, which can't be kept by the parties who are going to be elected. That under the present arrangement, you cannot bring back Article 370 and 35A. You cannot even restore statehood on your own. So let's be honest about what has been sold to the public of Jammu and Kashmir. Now you have a problem because you're going to come to power and you're going to say, well, we can't quite do it. So, we have to start looking for an excuse. And what is the excuse? Oh, we're not even actually an elected government in control of its own destiny, because you see the LG is overbearing and has too many powers stacked up behind him. So let's challenge that.
So
this becomes a
full statehood.
I'm sorry, but there has been
Statehood has been promised by the BJP. No
one
less than the Home
second.
Minister
I'm
has
not
said
talking
that.
about the statehood. I'm not talking about statehood. I'm talking about Article 370.
Yeah,
And let's not
370 you
pretend that
cannot
Article
restore
370 is a non-issue. Let's not pretend Article 370 is a non-issue.
Should be clarified, Rahul. You see, the elections in Jammu and Kashmir have been held as per the
Sir,
Indian
releasing
constitution.
separatists was a promise that has been made in black and white by both the political parties, the Congress and the BJP has not made that. One second, sir, let me finish.
As a potential nationalist.
One second.
Just now, Pakistani media, one of the first things they have seen the leads and what they have said.
I think
they have called for lifting of the ban on the freeing of Yasin Malik and lifting of the ban on Jammu Kashmir National Liberation Front.
And
JKL.
a restoration
Saying that's
of
the
Article
first thing they should
370
do. They are
and
expecting
let's
Omar
not
Abdullah and the
pretend
Congress
that
party to do.
Article 370 doesn't have a resonance.
That's the first conversation that's happening. Yeah. That's the news break. Now you please tell me, should the Congress do that? Do you think Yasin Malik should be freed? Do you think JKLF should be, the ban should be lifted?
What I'm saying is, there was Prakash Singh Badal, Akali Dal, which burned, copies of Indian Constitution, AGP, Similar thing they did in Assam, and they were brought in the national mainstream, and the BJP became a partner. So this is a very welcoming thing that national political parties, sort of engage and involve, regional players and
Totally
become part
agree
of
with you.
national mainstream.
But
we cannot foreclose that.
Is that for moving forward, or is that
I'm
for dialing
sorry,
it back?
there is a
That's the question.
Human civilization
See,
lives on hope.
We are arguing the wrong point here, and I want to bring in Mr. Mattu. Mr. Mattu, there has to be a responsibility. Political parties go out there, they can promise you guarantees of this, that, the other, but there has to be a certain degree of honesty in your manifesto, and you have to be able to deliver, because this is a big debate. Should political parties be made accountable for the promises they make? This is a very emotional promise.
50 lakh rupees?
I'm talking about whatever it is. I'm
Are you
just
talking
saying
about 50
it
lakh
doesn't.
rupees?
This cuts across party lines, sir. It doesn't matter whoever is making the promise. They should be held to their promises, Mr. Mattu.
Yes, in an ideal, perfect world, you're absolutely right. Political parties must stand by the manifesto and the commitments made, but we know that some of the promises that are made are aspirational, and the voter is smart enough, especially the voter in the streets of Jammu and Kashmir, to recognize that none of these political parties, including the BJP, has the capacity or the power or the ability to now restore 370 in its pristine form or any other form. What you can ensure is that land rights and land alienation is not done, and that there is a certain proportion of government jobs which go to residents of Jammu and Kashmir, as Rashid Saab said, is the case of Northeast or Himachal Pradesh. But I don't think Article 370 was the main issue in these elections. The main issue in these elections was democracy, regaining power for elected members, and perhaps a signal that we are not being satisfied with the 6 years of Lieutenant Governor's rule. And if the Congress has made inroads in even the Jammu region, then that suggests that a dissatisfaction with the LG's rule, particularly, was evident even there.
EVMs have now been opened. Just now at 9:08 a.m. is the update. EVMs have now been opened and the first round of counting is underway. So now, from now onwards, it's round by round. Will these leads consolidate, or will there be a change based on the from the postal ballots to the EVM ballot boxes that they are opening? The first round of EVM counting has just now started across both Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir. That's the update that we are getting from Avantika. Yes, Avantika.
Yes, the EVMs have opened now. So the first round of counting is presently underway. The EVMs have opened at a few places. So now, we are also going to keep a very close track on those numbers. शौकत बताइए, EVMs कहाँ खुले जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में? आपको क्या खबर आ रही है?
मैम, उससे पहले मैं आपको एक बड़ी खबर ये है कि महबूबा मुफ्ती की बेटी इल्तिजा मुफ्ती बिजबिहाड़ा से लीड कर रही है। अच्छा। अभी ये हमारे पास आया है ताज़ा ही। उसके अलावा JKPCC के प्रेसिडेंट जो हैं वो लीड कर रहे हैं सेंट्रल स्टार्टिंग श्रीनगर से, और few places पे जो है EVM स्टार्ट हो गया है अभी काउंटिंग। हाँ,
so EVMs have opened now in Jammu and Kashmir, and I'll just quickly ask Iqbal as well. इकबाल बताइए, हरियाणा में क्या सीन है?
हरियाणा देखिए सिरसा है, हिसार है, इन जगहों पे अभी EVM ओपन हो गई है, और अभी कई जगहों पे जो है देखिए अपडेट भी हमारे पास आने लगा है, और लगातार मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, जैसे विनेश फोगाट जुलाना से अभी भी लीड कर रही हैं लगातार, शुरुआती दौर से लीडिंग पे हैं। वहीं अगर मैं बात करूँ अगर सावित्री जिंदल की, वो भी देखें शुरुआत से लीड कर रही थी, अभी भी लीड पे ही हैं, और बीजेपी भी कई इसमें अब देखा अनिल विज है अम्बाला कैंट से बड़ी कद्दावर नेता।
सिरसा and अम्बाला में EVMs अब खुल गई हैं, and that's also very important. They have the highest Dalit concentration, and we've seen this whole election and how important and significant the Dalit vote is going to be. Back to the studios, Anand.
Right. Thank you for that, Avantika. So EVMs are now being opened. First round of counting on in a lot of the assembly constituencies, and the numbers will start plotting and correcting themselves thick and fast. By the time we get to about 4 or 5 rounds, there should be certain candidates who would have opened up significant leads, but till the last round of counting, since it's assembly elections, it may just go right down to the wire. Some key race alerts: Gopal Kanda is leading in Sirsa and Haryana. Those the alerts come. Nayab Singh Saini continues to lead from Ladwa. Savitri Jindal continues to lead. Aditya Surjewala, Randeep Surjewala's son, is leading from Kaithal in Haryana. We also have Savitri Jindal, who continues to lead from the time the first postal ballot numbers started coming in. Abhay Singh Chautala is also leading from Ellenabad in Haryana. And we also have Digvijay Singh Chautala. He is leading from Dabwali in Haryana. So the Chautalas is going towards INLD. Aarti Singh Rao, Ateli, Haryana. So Haryana map plotted on the wall.
I think
Yes, Saka.
Dushyant,
Anil
last
Vij
I-
leading.
yeah, Dushyant, last I checked, was trailing. So which means the JJP vote, they got 10 seats last time, largely the Jat vote. That is now 0. The JJP is 0. Whatever Jat vote there is, which is anti-Congress, anti-BJP, is going to the INLD. So Abhay Chautala, Arjun Chautala, and also Mr. Devilal's grandson, all three of them are leading. These are the 3 seats from Dabwali, where Aditya Devilal is leading. Arjun Chautala is leading from Rania, and then from Ilanabad, Abhay Chautala is leading. There's also Gopal Kanda, who I think was a minister in the previous government, independent. He's also leading from the constituency of Sirsa. So that belt seems to have gone vis-a-vis the INLD. So I think one of the side stories, of course, the main headline is that the Congress is sweeping Haryana. The side story is part of the Jat vote, which went to Dushyant and the JJP, which was a newly formed party 5 years ago. That has now gone back to the INLD. I wouldn't be surprised if I see some kind of closing of ranks of the Chautala family, and instead of having 2 parties, they eventually fold into 1. But we'll have to wait on that. There are also 7 independents who have also are in the lead, including the likes of Savitri Jindal. But I think the big picture, as far as Haryana is concerned, is Congress is leading in almost all the regions of Haryana. They're leading in the Ambala belt in the north. They're leading in the Karnal, Kurukshetra belt, again in the north central part. They're leading in Rohtak. Obviously, that's the guard of the Hudas. They're also leading in the south, in the new belt, which borders Rajasthan. So clearly, you know, the BJP's strongholds, as it were, urban centers and this GT corridor belt, in neither of those 2 centers, the BJP seems to be leading. We don't have enough in Bhiwani Mahendragarh, of course. The BJP seems to, at least in the urban pockets, couple of seats there. But in the Jat belt here in Sirsa, in the westernmost part of the state, whatever movement happened to the JJP back in the 2019 election, that vote seems to be coming back to Abhay Chautala and to the INLD. Quick word on Jammu and Kashmir. You can see the map populating in the upper reaches. It's dark blue for the National Conference, in case you're wondering the color combinations. Dark blue for the National Conference, light blue for the Congress, saffron, of course, for the BJP, and light green for the PDP. So 47. They've gone past the halfway mark, Congress NC. A large number of the dark blues are in the upper reaches. It's in the Kashmir Valley. Couple of light blues in Jammu. I can see 1 seat here, 1 seat here in the Rajouri Poonch belt as well. PDP also opening its account in the Kashmir Valley. So clearly, I think it's as Rahul was arguing a moment ago, it's similar to what we saw in the last election, except that the BJP's seats, a large chunk of them, are coming from Jammu, no doubt about it. So there will be a larger proportion of BJP MLAs from the Jammu belt and a larger proportion of Kashmiri MLAs from NC as well as Congress, and maybe some from the PDP as well. 5 is what we're showing right now. Even the others, again, you're seeing, we don't know which parties they are. We'll break that down for you, but there are 10 others. I can see 2 constituencies here in the upper reaches. There's 1 here in Jammu. But it seems like, you know, it's consolidating more and more in favor of the Congress NC. It was at 45 a few minutes ago. Now it's gone up to 47. I think there's 1 seat that's oscillating between an independent and an NC candidate.
NC candidate,
so that will again sort of consolidate in that direction.
Yeah, and we'll have to also see Haryana. In Haryana, what's happening is that the Congress has slipped 2 seats, BJP has gained 2 seats, but still a 30-seat lead. It's just the early rounds of counting of the ballot boxes or the EVMs that's now begun, ladies and gentlemen. But as of 9:15 this morning, this is how the scenario is. An hour and 15 minutes into counting, the Congress leading in 55 seats in Haryana, the Congress plus NC leading in 47 seats in Jammu and Kashmir, and in both places they seem to be comfortably placed to form government or stake claim to form government. Now, is there a twist in the story as the counting continues, or as often that happens in the recent past, will these leads settle? Where now there you go, Congress slipping another seat in Haryana, BJP picking up to 26. So is there some drama there? We'll have to wait and watch over the course of the next hour and a half. And is that drama enough for the Congress, for the BJP to pull up 20 seats away from the Congress and to try and form government there in Haryana? Or is it just that the Congress has a few nervy moments and then but it still remains comfortable as it leads, as it sees right now? Will there be a twist in the the story as more of the ballot boxes are counted? Will the leads open up further in favor of Congress NC as they have just done now? Again, 48 and 26, one seat oscillating. We'll have to wait and watch. Let's take it to our guest, Nalin Mehta. Is it based on your estimations, or is there a twist in the story? Postal ballots are done. Now it's the ballot boxes which are open, EVMs that are open.
So usually, Anand, there's not much to read in postal ballots. So physiologically, one shouldn't read that much into it. However, what the projections are currently showing at the moment is very much in line with what the exit polls have been predicting.
See, Haryana numbers are changing. See, the Congress has slipped from 57 to 52. BJP has gone up to 28. So they seem to be changing with the EVMs now being counting, and as and when rounds are increasing. Yes, Nalin, please continue.
No, so if you look at the J&K number, BJP is 25, which is pretty much in the range of what the poll of the polls predicted.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 25 to 30 for BJP. BJP, yes, it is picking up a little bit in Haryana, but in general, the trend line is pretty much on par with what our reporters have been telling us.
In this current scenario, Congress NC does not need anybody. At 52 leads, they don't need anybody. They just can go ahead and stake claim to form government without any of the others involved, and that means that they have been able to push a narrative on ground which has worked. Now, whether it is selling snake oil or if it is something else, but the fact is, this is a huge responsibility on the shoulders of the Congress and the National Conference, because how they conduct themselves in Jammu and Kashmir and what they do will have an impact on how they are perceived across the country.
And may I say, Anand, that between Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir, what happens in Haryana has a huge ramification for politics in the Hindi heartland. Haryana has generally been outsides in its political influence compared to its size. But what happens in Jammu and Kashmir has huge ramifications for globally. It's the most watched election globally from India at the moment, because after 370 and so on, whoever comes to power, if it's NC and Congress, perhaps with PDP support, the actions they take will be watched very closely.
No, the other thing is, the story is that this election is not doctored. If this is the mandate of the people, the biggest story that goes across is that this is a democratic process and the people have been free to choose. Now, what the ramifications of that for us as a country are, that's a different story. Yes, Rahul Shivshankar.
No, democracy khatre mein hai, bogie has now been buried once and for all, and that's why the Congress realized that there were going to be diminishing returns from that particular plank. So what do? We pivot towards whether Dalits are getting their due, whether the castes are getting enough representation. That pivot was done about 6 months back, and the Congress, whether it is in Jammu or it is now in Haryana, it is getting some amount of traction by playing that card. Look, the BJP in Jammu and Kashmir was hoping that in Kashmir the vote would splinter in fact across the various little dynamics that they had sort of cultivated demographically. They had talked about Bakkarwals, they had talked about several other communities, the Shias, the Sunnis, this, that, the other. There was a hope that a monolithic vote will not consolidate behind one or two political parties. It has. That experiment has failed. In Jammu is what is very surprising, because one would have expected in a polarized situation like this, specifically on communal lines, because that's how at least one side of the fence viewed this particular election. Even there, the BJP has not made inroads by consolidating the Hindu vote, which means that it has to really look very closely at the strategy that is employed.
So, Advaita Kala, one second, let Advaita say.
I think if this holds and the Congress comes to power along with the NC in Jammu and Kashmir, then really the argument that they've been making across the country, that they stand for the, in defense of the Indian Constitution, is something that they'll have to prove in Jammu and Kashmir when they are part of government, because the Indian Constitution, whoever comes to power, should be supreme. And let's see if they're able to deliver on that.
No, let's see. I mean, to say that the Congress and National Conference have to prove their nationalist credentials in J&K is, I think, it's something that's unthinkable. They've always been part and parcel. The national flag has been in Srinagar, in Kashmir, because of National Conference and the Congress. Long history, decades after decades. So there is, I think, it is on this day we must respect, the mandate. I think we must also ponder over this fact that how BJP's strategy has boomeranged in both Haryana and in Jammu and Kashmir by plotting, having so much faith and trust in others. The others haven't delivered. You look at this kind of alliance politics that were there, JJP and Chandrasekhar Ravana's party and INLT and Mayawati's party coming together. They have not done well at all. So BJP had 5 years from after this, abrogation
But
of
Rashid,
370.
in Haryana, something seems to be happening because Congress was upwards closer to 60. Now it's down to 50, and
But
BJP was at 20.
that is academic.
No, it's
Let's be
academic.
honest.
But I think what is also, I want to show it on the map because you remember about half an hour back we were saying in all seats in Sonipat and Panipat the Congress was leading. The BJP is managing to wrest some of that back. So which means yes, as Rahul says, it is academic. But at the end of the day, look, now it's 30-50.
Yeah.
It was 60-20, half an hour ago.
Yes.
So I think, I don't think the story in Haryana has been written off just yet. I think
Are you saying Bihar is happening?
Are
you saying
Bihar is happening because I think the scale is quite high.
An hour ago, we thought Jammu and Kashmir will be interesting and it could be a humdinger. It just seems to be changing. And Congress NC seem to be running. Now, we've just got updates now. Omar Abdullah leading from both Badgam and Ganderbal. Sajjad Lone leading from Handwara. Ravinder Raina is actually trailing from Naushera. Iltija Mufti is leading from Bijbehara. Yes, Avantika. Avantika, can you hear me? Go ahead, please. Okay, we'll try.
Big news coming in. Big news coming in. BJP chief from Naushera. Ravinder Raina was facing an uphill task, but he's trailing as well. So Ravinder Raina तो बहुत confident थे that he's going to be winning, but he's trailing right now.
उसके लिए अमित शाह ने अलग से भी रैली की थी लास्ट में, तो अभी वो ट्रेल कर रहे हैं और वहाँ से एनसी का कैंडिडेट आगे हो गया है, अराउंड 3000 वोट से उसकी अभी लीड हो गई है.
और सजाद लोन वो भी
सजाद लोन continues to be.
Sajjad Lone from Handwara is leading right now. Omar Abdullah is leading from both of them.
Sajjad is trailing from Kupwara.
Okay.
Sajjad Lone is trailing from Kupwara. Okay.
All right.
Iltija Mufti is leading.
Well?
Yes, Omar is leading from both the seats.
Okay. All right. And Iltija Mufti?
She is also leading.
All right. So it's looking good, at least for Mehbooba Mufti's daughter. And आप बताइए इकबाल क्या हो रहा है
हरियाणा में? देखिए अभी जो है थोड़ा सा डेटा चेंज हो गया. यस, चेंज हुआ है और अभी जो है थोड़ा सा रुझानों में भी परिवर्तन हुआ है. तो ये देखिए इसमें कई जगहों पे अभी कॉल्स जो आई हैं कि बीजेपी अब थोड़ा सा कई जगहों पे लीड करने लगी है. तो ये एक बड़ा बदलाव देखने को मिल रहा है. अगर हम बात करते हैं कि भिवानी में भी बीजेपी लीड कर रही है ना. अगर हम बात करें पंचकुला में भी इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट लीड करने लगा है. उसके अलावा से करनाल में भी बीजेपी जो है अब लीड कर रही है. ऐसी कई सीटों पे जो है वो थोड़ा सा रुझानों में थोड़ा चेंजेस हो गया है.
So Anand, as you can hear him saying that there's been a change, there's been a sudden change in the numbers, and I was just hearing you and Zaka as well. बताइए जल्दी बताइए.
Iltija Mufti is trailing, NC candidate Bashir Biri is leading.
Okay.
So, Iltija Mufti is trailing in Bijbehara.
She's trailing now.
So Iltija Mufti is trailing. So the National Conference seems to be running away with the numbers as far as the Kashmir division is concerned. Jammu seems to have moved away from the BJP and is looking towards the Congress party. Out of the 43, BJP is leading only in 23. I'm assuming that largely most of the BJP's leads are in Jammu. But the Haryana story, wow, 32-47. The gap is just now bridged to about 15 seats from about a 30-seat lead. It's just corrected itself.
But we don't know what pockets this result is coming in.
I'm just saying the map color is being plotted.
No, I'm saying which rounds and which areas within constituencies. There could be pockets where there is support for the BJP. So I think we'll have to wait for a couple more rounds.
This itself then says that this could become far more exciting as the rounds get increased.
What this tells you, sorry, I'm being very facetious, that the postal ballots were rigged.
Anand, so look, it's still very early to read a trend in this because it is going to fluctuate a lot in the next half an hour or so. But one thing that is the Election Commission website is currently showing, when you look at vote shares of the seats that we're seeing leads off, the vote share, the Congress vote share at the moment is 43.7%.
Wow.
And the BJP vote share is 6.56% for Haryana. Now, if that's correct and if that trend holds, that means the Congress has gained 1% from where it was in the 2024 Lok Sabha election, and the BJP is.
No, what it also tells you, Nalin, is that this is actually only a two-horse fight.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, the Congress vote share would have been down to 37, 35.
Yeah, not just a two-horse fight that the Congress has been able to hold. It's been able to hold and further consolidate its Lok Sabha vote share, whereas there has been an erosion despite course correction for the
Look, I mean, let's be
BJP.
honest, in the Hindi heartland, even when the BJP has lost in Rajasthan or even in Madhya Pradesh, which it did, and other states, it hasn't fallen and collapsed. So I think you will see the BJP ending up within 2 or 3% or even 2% of what it has performed as far as vote share is concerned, but the seat shares will open up because clearly the Congress vote has consolidated for it.
Now
It's
the
not
gap's
getting-
opened up again to 18
That's
seats.
right.
So 31 and 49, that's
Yeah.
what. So this is changing quite often.
Couple of the, if you just look at the region wise, again, I go back to that whole belt, the GT corridor belt. Now in the Jean City seat, the BJP candidate there is leading. In Safidon, which is the neighboring seat, again the BJP candidate is leading. In Rohtak seat, in Rohtak city seat, Rohtak, which is of course the guard of the Hudas, in the Rohtak city seat, a BJP candidate is leading. In the Karnal seat, the city seat, again Sonipat, it's the BJP's Kavita Jain who's leading. In the neighboring seat of Rai, again the BJP is leading. So the BJP seems to be, holding on to its urban fortresses in this whole belt, which is Sonipat, Karnal, Kurukshetra, all the way to down to Panipat. Couple of seats here in this Bhiwani Mahendragarh belt as well. Really, where the Congress is running up the numbers is really in the rural pockets. So the agrarian distress, the farmers, what happened to the farmers, the treatment meted out to them, that seems to be very resonant as far as the rural voters are concerned, and the Congress seems to be gaining in the rural parts. As far as the urban pockets are concerned, the BJP is not getting washed out there. In fact, the strength of the BJP is coming from those urban pockets, like it happened in 2019, where, the reason why they got to 40 was because of urban seats like Panipat, Sonipat, the Rohtak city seat, and eventually going up all the way to Ambala. So whether or not the BJP holds on to those urban seats, or whether the Congress can breach those urban seats, again, this could very well change in the next hour or so. But at one point, we were looking at 60 seats or 65 seats. It's not looking like a 65 seat win for the Congress as of this moment. But like I said, in an hour, things can change.
Yes.
I think if this is still good evidence and you've gone from the postal ballots to the EVMs, suggests that in Kashmir, instead of the vote being fractured, it's consolidated around the NC Congress and really the NC with a few pockets. Sajjad Lone might win in the north, Altaf Bukhari in Srinagar, and Iltija and Wahid Para in the south, but really a consolidation in favor of the NC, while the Jammu vote seems to have splintered.
So again, interestingly, the JKPC, the People's Conference, is actually leading in 3 constituencies. Sajjad is leading in Handwara, in the neighboring constituency of Langate, which is, I believe, Engineer Rashid hails from Langate. Again, it's the People's Conference candidate who's leading there. You have one more seat which I'd seen, which is
would be in the north itself.
Yeah, in the north, this constituency, which is Patan. Again, it's Imran Ansari.
Imran Ansari. Sajjad Lone's the PC is assured of at least 2 seats, which is Imran Ansari from Patan, which is a Shia-dominated constituency, and Sajjad's own constituency of Handwara. He should win Kupwara also if he's lucky.
There are two other independents. I just want to quickly run this. Satish Sharma in Cham. I believe he was a rebel. Satish Sharma, he's now contesting as an independent. He's leading in a seat called Cham. And there's one more constituency. Again, this is in the, it's an ST in Jammu, in the ST reserve seat of Tanamandi. A candidate called Muzaffar Iqbal Khan, an independent, is leading. So these are the independents. Let's just take a look. All right, from Bani, Dr. Rameshwar Singh, independent, is also leading from Bani. And there is this one seat I just want to see from Kulgam. Mohammad Yusuf Tarigami is of the CPM.
What would be interesting is to find out if Engineer Rashid, his party AIP, and the Jamaat, who has put a proxy independent candidates, whether they are winning any candidates.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, because the numbers are changing in Jammu and Kashmir too. The numbers are oscillating and fluctuating even in Jammu and Kashmir, not so much. But yes, it was 55 just a short while ago. It's come down to 53. It went down to 51. Now it's gone up to 53. So with each round of counting, and in some of these constituencies, the others, BJP and National Conference, it seems to be fluctuating, and the PDP seems to be losing ground to the National Conference. That's what's happening. The seats that the PDP had lost, was leading about 5 or 6 seats. It's all gone towards the National Conference. The BJP now from 21, it's gone up to 24 seats. Now will it consolidate further? We'll have to wait and watch. But this scenario, this was a 30-seat lead that had been opened up by the Congress party. It's now come down to 16 seats. Is there a further twist in this story as more rounds are counted? We'll have to change. We'll have to check. BJP chief of Jammu and Kashmir, Ravindra Raina, is trailing from Naushera at this point. That's what we are given to understand. So he's trailing. There are other leads that are that's the update of Ravindra Raina, who's trailing in Naushera. Some of the other key race alerts, we'll quickly call some of the others. Narinder Singh, RS Pura, Jammu South, he is currently leading. He's been in the lead for a while now. So from the time the ballots were, the counting started this day. Sophie Yusuf, he is of the BJP. He is trailing, and same Bijbehara seat, Iltija Mufti is also trailing. Mehboob Beg is leading in Anantnag of TDP.
Anand, what will be interesting if you should look at the map is what about the Hindu-dominated seats in Jammu? Who is winning in those?
It's the BJP that there's the all saffron sort of patches are in Jammu. The entire belt is Jammu.
Kathua, Samba, Udhampur, these are the ones that you need to focus on.
The entire belt is dominated by.
Now there you go. They lost one more. One more went away.
There are 43 seats.
Yes.
And the BJP is leading in 24. So what's happening in the other 20?
What is happening in the other 20?
The other 20 will go to the Congress party. Right?
No,
It's just the Congress or it will be independent.
Which are these
Congress
seats?
or the independents?
This is anecdotal. I mean, I want to see it actually on the map to understand.
Rajouri, Punch and the Chenab area.
Because you know the Prime Minister has been stressing on this whole business of batenge to katenge. I mean, I'm just bringing in the larger, the narrative that has been built up by Yogi, the RSS, the Prime Minister, and they've been talking about batenge to katenge. Is this making any impression on the voter on the ground? And that's why I was talking about what about the Hindu-dominated seats in Jammu per se? Where have they gone? How are they voting?
So the BJP has currently got 24 seats. I think 20 out of those 24 seats are coming from Jammu.
Right.
4 are coming from the other belts. I just want to run through some of the quick constituencies. From Chenani, the BJP candidate is leading. From Udhampur West, the BJP candidate is leading. From Nagrota, the BJP candidate is leading. From Aknoor, which is an SC reserve seat after delimitation, again, BJP candidate leading. Jammu North, Shamlal Sharma of the BJP leading. The Jammu City seat, I'm just trying to get that up, again the BJP. So the BJP's bulk of its seats are coming from, as Professor Mattu said, from the Jammu, Udhampur, Samba, that
And
belt.
this is the area that has been hit also by militancy in the last 6 months.
Correct.
Yeah,
So
but-
clearly a polarization has taken
But
place.
the fact is, for the BJP to really get into any kind of ask or state, it had to win at least 35 seats out of the 43. They had to max out as far as Jammu.
which are the
They've not
seats
been
that
able
it
to do
has
that.
not-
See, they're actually 23
So which
now.
in Jammu are the seats where it has not done as well or which have changed hands?
See, some of those are still plotting.
So Kathua,
yeah,
for example, the
Kathua.
NC candidate. Kathua is now a reserve seat. The NC candidate there is leading. You have one independent from the Bani seat, Dr. Rameshwar Singh, again an independent. So these are 2 seats that the BJP used to have. It's flipped now. It's flipped to the.
The one
to an
caveat I
NC.
want to add is that the BJP has never actually got more than 30 in Jammu. From the research that we've done, seats
It had
in
26
Jammu.
last time, yeah. That
Yes,
was the highest it's had.
Sorry?
26 last time was the
Yeah,
highest.
so they've never got,
that
yeah,
they've had.
I think there was one election where they did better than that. I'll have to just quickly recheck because I remember this.
But that is pre-delimitation.
No, I understand that. I understand that. But all I'm saying is that, look, some caveats. Has the Hindu vote really... You see, the question will be, because I'm telling you what the opposition will come out and say, that Hindutva is failing, that it's come down to bread and butter, the BJP doesn't have an answer for voters who are going to talk about bread and butter. So I'm just trying to understand
on that
what is...
point,
Yeah.
what the data is showing us at this moment, and it's still early days, the BJP is at 23, which is -2 from last time.
Correct.
Now again, there's been delimitation, so we have to take that with a pinch of salt. The Congress is at 7, which is -5 from last time. So the BJP strike rate at the moment is 37.1%. The Congress's strike rate is 17.9%. The NC on the other hand is an 80% strike rate. So it's very clear that the BJP is retaining its stronghold in Jammu. The Congress is not really making inroads there, and I think the NC was miffed about it before the election, saying that the Congress
So it's not that the Congress is really pulling its weight, it's just that the NC seems to be, National Conference seems to be holding sway not just in the Kashmir division, but having an impact even in the Jammu division. And the overall consolidation of votes which should have happened in favor of the BJP post abrogation of 370, post whatever it claims to have done to balance the Jammu versus Kashmir divide, it's not manifesting as of now. It's not manifesting as of now.
And it'll be great if Professor Mattu comes in on this, but fundamentally, in my view, what's happening is in Jammu. Originally, what was BJP was always a Jammu party. It was never the Kashmir party, right?
Exactly.
That seems to be holding. Now, the Congress had an opportunity here. It seems to have kind of let that go, at least in the Jammu region. But it's the NC that's pulling it along. But fundamentally, on the ground, nothing has changed politically. I mean,
I think, Nalin, you're absolutely right that BJP has not expanded its electoral fortunes beyond
the tunnel, Jawahar tunnel, into the valley. It had hoped that some of the independents that it was backing insidiously or silently would make an impact. We'll still have to wait and see.
If you look at the arithmetic by what he's saying,
yes,
47 seats in National Conference in Jammu and Kashmir, 7 seats of the Congress party. So that's what's 55. So what's happening is that National Conference seems to have swept Kashmir. Right now, if the numbers for Congress plus NC is 55, that means out of 47, the National Conference is winning at least 40 to 43.
Actually, that number we'll have to look at because...
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it has to max out in Kashmir.
The disaggregation
if the BJP is holding ground in Jammu,
right.
it's got to max out in Kashmir.
How much NC is getting out of that 55, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, 51 seats is what the NC was fighting in. They're leading in 42
They're
out of
leading
51.
in. So that's a huge
42
conversion
out of
ratio.
51 they're leading. Haryana is changing, by the way.
Yeah, Haryana big change. Haryana big change. It's just 9 seat difference now. 36 to 45. In the last 6 minutes that we spoke on Jammu and Kashmir, look at how Haryana has changed.
Haryana, and this will be a big one if these trends continue to hold. Now, look, I mean, let's be very, very careful. Only 2 rounds right now.
37-44. 7 seats difference now.
And this is the first time the Congress has actually come under the halfway mark in Haryana in about the last 1 hour, 10 minutes.
Yes.
So that will give the BJP a lot of hope. Who are the others? Let's have a quick look at the others in Haryana, because in case it comes to it, there could be a problem.
Savitri Jindal is one of them.
Yeah.
Savitri
But right
Jindal
now,
is one of the independents.
As Congress being the single largest, it will be invited to form the government.
As you bring up those numbers, there's another update from the Election Commission. The BJP vote share, less in line and tally with these seat share, is inching up. It's now up. It was 33% about 10 minutes ago, is now up to 37.2%. Congress is down to 41%.
So that's his 2019 vote share, 37 or 38. I think 37 or 38 it was. It went up in Lok Sabha to about 43.
Yeah, correct.
So and that was a tight election. The 2019 election was very tight. In fact, we know that the BJP tied up with the JJP. But that's what I'm saying.
Lead is 6 seats now. Lead is only 6 seats. 44 and 38. Lead is only 6 seats in Haryana. Dramatic change here. This seems to be consolidating in favor of the Congress NC. But look at this. A 30-seat gap that they had just about 25 minutes ago has now come down to just about 6 seats, ladies and gentlemen. Even as more of the EVMs are going to be counted, more rounds across the assembly constituencies. Yes, Avantika.
Oh, Anand, look what's happening in Haryana. I mean, expect the unexpected, when it comes to elections. It's just the gap is closing in. Or Iqbal ji, bataiye. I mean, Iqbal is also quite surprised. The BJP is taking a lead on many of the seats. Bataiye.
Yes, देखिए अभी बीजेपी ने काफ़ी जो है इम्प्रूवमेंट कर लिया पहले से. रेवाड़ी की दोनों सीटों पे जो है वो बीजेपी लीड कर रही है. वहीं अगर हम गुरुग्राम की बात करें, जो अभी वो वेट कर रहे थे हम लोग काफ़ी देर से, तो गुरुग्राम की सभी सीटों पे जो है वो बीजेपी लीड कर रही है ना. वहीं जो है अगर हम गुरुग्राम, रेवाड़ी और उसके अलावा भी देखें, कई जगहों पे जो है बीजेपी फिर से करनाल
तो बीजेपी ने काफी आगे निकल गए. वो 43-40 हो गया है.
यस. तो अभी डेटा उनका लगातार बढ़ रहा है. करनाल, कुरुक्षेत्र है, करनाल के 2-3 सीटों पे जो है बीजेपी अब आगे चलने लगी है. वहीं पर देखिए काफ़ी जो डेटा में देखें परिवर्तन देखने को मिला है बहुत सारी जगहों पे. तो अभी देखिए पानीपत की सीट पे देखें महिपाल ढांडा जो है बीजेपी से वो लीड करने लगे, है ना. इस तरीके से कई जगहों पे अभी डेटा जो है थोड़ा सा चेंज हुआ है.
Right. So Anand, that's the update.
Yeah, big update here. Even as there is a round of snacks that's come in while we were at the live result hub into this. Look at the seat differential. Only 3 seats.
There's snakes there.
3 seats.
Snakes and ladders.
Just 3 seats. Snakes and ladders. Just 3 seats, ladies and gentlemen, separates the BJP and Congress in Haryana. How has this happened? Which are the places? Gurugram. Just now at the live result hub, Iqbal was telling Avantika that BJP is leading in all the seats in Gurugram.
I think it's in the urban pockets. So from Sona, from
he's
Gurgaon,
got it all on the map now.
Yeah, it's all on the map. On Gurgaon, in Sona, in Badshahpur, in Pataudi. So this is again, from Rewari. So this southern part of Haryana, you go all the way up to Bhiwani, Mahendragarh. Mahendragarh seat also, Kanwar Singh of the BJP is leading. In the Ateli seat, this is Aati Singh Rao.
That is the Ahirwal belt that you are talking about.
This is the southern belt.
Yeah, this is the Ahirwal belt, which means there's a counter consolidation perhaps against the Jats.
Faridabad, all the way up to Bhiwani, Mahendragarh. Yeah. This belt seems to be backing the BJP. It's not just there, it's also here in this Ambala corridor that we keep talking about, the GT corridor that we keep talking about, in Karnal city, in Kurukshetra city, in Panipat, Sonipat city, the urban seats, the BJP seems to be holding on to its strongholds here. And these two regions, if these two regions hold, that's why you're seeing a much tighter fight. The Congress, on the other hand, is still consolidating in the rural parts. In the Sirsa belt, earlier you had 3 to the INLD, now it's 2 to the INLD. Gopal Kanda seat also the Congress is now leading. So I think in the Sirsa belt also you will see a lot of the Jat vote coming back to the Congress and some to the INLD. But I think the urban pockets, whether it is in the Gurgaon, Faridabad, Bhiwani, Mahendragarh belt in the south of the state, or whether it's in this GT corridor all the way from Ambala.
So Zach, if you're going to see a surprise,
yes.
then we'll have to keep an eye on the Jat Sikh belt, which is
on the Jat vote.
There's a Jat Sikh belt.
Jeans,
No, it's just one seat difference. Just one seat difference. 41-42. BJP and the Congress 41-42. Look at the leaderboard at the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. And interestingly, INLD and the others, whichever way it goes, Congress plus INLD is 44 seats, BJP plus the others is 46 seats. So now this halfway mark right above us on the screen, if you look at the top band, let's just look at the leads. Now everybody, both of them are within striking distance of the magic figure. Look at this. Both of them are within striking distance of the magic figure. Now what happens here? Over the next 15-20 minutes, this could change dramatically. And if it changes dramatically, then whose story is it to sell? And what happens to the INLD? What happens to the others? Who are the others? Are the others leaning towards the BJP who are leading currently? Are the others who are leading currently?
So one is Savitri Jindal, we know in the Hisar seat. The other two, I'm just going to check. There's a Gannor seat where Devendra Kadian, I don't know if he's a BJP rebel, but this is a Jat-dominated seat. This is a seat that the Huda faction should have won, but they're trailing there. Rajesh June, another independent candidate, is leading from Bahadurgarh. And then you have this northern seat, which is Kalka, which is the first constituency. Gopal Sukumraj, again an independent candidate leading. So these are the 5, which is down 3 from last.
This will be a big slap in the face of the LOP, Rahul Gandhi, because if the party has to prove that what they did in the Lok Sabha election was not a flash in the pan on the back of some people say unscrupulous political messaging, then this election will determine whether
more than what happens with the Congress party, because
is actually being able to lead the party.
Is it tired and retired for Bhupinder Hooda if this happens? Now
it's not about Bhupinder Hooda, please, because this was a decision that was taken by Rahul Gandhi, who is now completely in charge of the Congress.
Rashid Kidwai said it is Rahul Gandhi, so we'll stay back. But I'm just also saying, look at the BJP clawing back. If the BJP has clawed back between the 4th of June till the 8th of October, 10
years of anti-incumbency, my friend.
Between the 4th of June and the 8th of October, if they have clawed back, now how is it? Advaita Kala, are you perked up a little more now in terms of what's happening in Haryana?
The only reason I wasn't perked up was because I'm not a morning person. But, I did tell you all that those were postal ballots, and Haryana, I think, will not be that bad.
Now we've got Ashok Gehlot, we've got Bajwa, they're all heading to Chandigarh.
BJP 42, Congress 41.
Yeah, Congress and the BJP for the first time in Haryana in lead. For the first time, the BJP is leading in Haryana. For the first time, just about at 9:43 a.m., the BJP leads for the first time in Haryana. Zaka's called that out here at this point, that the leads have changed. What a significant change in fortunes and the leaderboard as far as Haryana is concerned. From the postal ballots to the few rounds of counting that have now happened of the EVM ballot boxes. Look at what's happening. BJP 42, Congress 41. Right now, closer to this magic figure of 46, it's the BJP.
Look, Zach has turned very quiet. He's turned very quiet. He's turning blue in the face.
I'm just watching the numbers as they come in.
Zach, let's have a look at the leaderboard, please.
The person who's been able to be, as far as a centrist and not swing either way, is right through our election coverage. I'll have to say that. Is this person on the magic wall, because he calls out the numbers and then stays as far as the numbers are concerned. But this must be a surprise to you too, because this is bucking what the pollsters predicted.
Yeah, none of the exit polls gave 42 to the BJP. And I think it's largely coming from, like I said, 2 regions here in the south, which is Gurgaon, Faridabad, Bhiwani, all the way up to Mahendragarh. This southern urban belt for the BJP. And then, of course, this northern corridor. There's also a whole bunch here. This was not there the last time. So this Fatehbad seat where the BJP is leading. From Nalwa, the BJP is leading. from the neighboring constituency
Clearly, the
of
CID
Tosham.
also didn't quite get it right.
No, not just the CID. We have to call Tehseen Pulawala and the CID there. But in this case,
42 seats which the BJP is leading on. There are about 4 seats where it's sort of resting them from Congress as of now compared to
Which
last
ones
time.
are these?
That's
it's actually
Ladwa.
showing +5. It's a +5 change from the last time around.
Yes, changing very fast. One of them is Ladwa, the other one is Israna. Sonipat.
लाडवा तो नायब सिंह सैनी लड़ रहा है ना, लाडवा का तो एमपी था वो, वहां पर
लाडवा, इसराना, सोनीपत,
आदमपुर.
This is the first time he's fighting from there.
Adhampur, Israna,
there is also Barwala, which was JJP last time.
Barwala.
So these are all gains for the BJP as of this moment. Prithla, which was an independent last time, and BJP is kind of ahead in that seat. So suddenly we are seeing gains on the leaderboard by the BJP.
So what is happening is, if I am to go by what Nalin is seeming to indicate, is that the
now 44-39.
Yeah, 44-39.
The other vote is splitting.
Whoa, that's a 5-seat change, 5-seat shift. 44-39, just too short of that magic number is the BJP right now, and the Congress slipping to under 40 for the first time today.
This is a Bihar happening, but what it also tells you is that the Jat vote is not melting away from the BJP. Also, so there's a counter consolidation, and that's what we were talking about, Advaita, you and I, because no one else was sticking their necks out.
Something tells me.
Oh, right, okay. Now everybody wants to own the narrative.
We need to also, Aarti Tikku, keep an eye on the Jammu and Kashmir numbers. National Conference may slip below 50. For the first time, and the PDP is actually inching back, resting back some seats. The BJP is staying steady at 24, but there is a bit of an aji-baji going on between the Congress NC and the PDP here. That's what's happening. There's an exchange, and and will this also correct itself in the later rounds? We'll have to wait and watch. But this is a huge twist. 44-39, and with about 2 or 3 of the independents, the BJP seems to be past that 46
this
number.
Is a reversal.
45 number.
I mean, this is a major indictment of the campaign. If this holds, it's too early again. So I don't know how many rounds we've actually had.
We'll check with Avantika and we'll get an idea of how many rounds are
for the
through,
Congress to lose.
And where all the leads are solid. You know, if there is a more than 1500 to 2000 margin of lead in assembly constituencies, that's significant. So let's try and understand with Avantika. Avantika can check with Iqbal. These leads, the way they have changed, are they very slender? Coming back to you, Rahul, in just a minute. Are they very slender margins, or are they solid leads?
Well, Anand, 2 rounds are already over. I mean, the second round is just about finishing now, but what a huge change in Haryana. I mean, even we are sitting out here completely surprised with how the numbers have changed so dramatically, and just within a span of few minutes. Iqbal here is sitting here, he's just telling me, Avantika, that BJP is taking a lead in just so many places. Everything has changed in a matter of just a few moments.
अब देखिए, अभी गुरुग्राम की देखिए 3 सीटें बीजेपी जो है लीड कर रही है, और अभी देखिए लाडवा से जो सीएम साहब हैं वो भी 800 करीब 800 वोट से।
ऐसे कौन सी सीट है जो जहां पर कांग्रेस लीड कर रही थी और अचानक से सब कुछ बदल गया और अब बीजेपी लीड ले रही है?
ऐसी पानीपत की भी सीटें थी, सोनीपत से 1-2 जगह पे जो चल रही थी कांग्रेस लीड कर रही थी, तो वहाँ से बीजेपी अभी लीड करने लगी है। राव नरवीर से गुरुग्राम का भी देखिए, एक जगह पे जो है वो कांग्रेस लीड कर रही थी, लेकिन अभी 4 सीटों पे जो है वो बीजेपी लीड करने लगी है जी। तो ऐसी कई गुरुग्राम है या पानीपत हो गया, सोनीपत हो गया, इन डिस्ट्रिक्ट में कांग्रेस लीड कर रही थी, लेकिन अभी बीजेपी ने लीड पकड़ ली। वहीं पे अगर और भी सीटों पे हम देखें, पंचकुला में भी एक सीट पे कांग्रेस देखे अभी लीड कर रही है, और एक पे बीजेपी भी आ गई है
जी। सो इट्स अ नेल बाइटर, आनंद, इट्स अ नेल बाइटर, इट्स एनीथिंग कैन हैपन, एंड वी आर जस्ट सीइंग दोस नंबर्स देयर। 45-38, कैन यू बिलीव इट? आई एम प्रीटी मच सरप्राइज्ड, बट एज आई हैव बीन सेइंग ऑल थ्रू आउट, दीस आर इलेक्शंस, एनीथिंग कैन हैपन। 2 rounds of counting are already over.
It was just at least a minute ago it was 40 and 44, 43. It's 45, so it's right at the halfway number. The BJP, ये अमिताभ मट्टू जी ने भिगोए हुए बादाम दिए हैं. I'm just having some because this is going to be a long one, ladies and gentlemen.
On that note of
45,
and see, I told you, Congress NC is below 50, and the others have picked up. The independents have picked up in the Kashmir division. But look at this, 45. Are we going to see for the first time in the Super Tuesday coverage, Result Day live, BJP hit that magic number of 46 for the first time on the leaderboard.
I like the
Are we
like
going
the
to
way
see
you're
that?
finding
Interesting
all the
point to make here.
superlatives now. Super Tuesday.
Super Tuesday. We've been
comeback.
calling it Super Tuesday on top.
Super
It's
duper.
Super Tuesday because the election is exciting now. It's not a one
So
way
the one
fight, and it's not
the
like
one
okay,
group
it's all
that
even.
is
There's some
the
drama
one
here.
group that is losing are the exit pollsters. For sure, they're losing.
both
The exit
places,
pollsters in both places are losing.
See, my
At least
point
as
is
of
the
now.
next time around we won't get enough of exit polls to do polar polls. Nobody will do the exit polls.
Very interesting factoid on Haryana. As the game seems to be changing in Haryana, very interesting factoid. We've talked about the Jat vote and the BJP holding on to it. One of the seats where the BJP is gaining is Mulana. Now, Mulana has the highest scheduled caste population in Haryana, 35%.
Dalit.
Right? Dalit. Now, a lot of people are talking about how Dalit vote, and that by the Dalit vote which actually hurt the BJP
That's
in
right.
2024 in the Lok Sabha election.
So I have
now,
all
if
the
this seat is
figures.
an indication, it's wresting it away from the Congress, and as of this moment, it might change later.
Well,
but it
Congress
kind of
NC
shows
just
us
wrested
something
one
that's
seat from
happening
the
on ground.
BJP in the leaderboard in
35%
Jammu Kashmir.
Dalit
Haryana
votes
back.
swung
Yeah.
away from the BJP in the Lok Sabha election. That Dalit vote seems to be coming back in some measure because
Now-
the vote share of the BJP is a telling factor. The vote
we
share is
will-
holding
we will
at about
again
38,
say-
39, isn't it? Naren?
But we will again say here, ladies and gentlemen,
at this
as of
moment-
9:51 a.m. on Tuesday, this Super Tuesday coverage of Result Day live here at CNN News 18. It's just about the third round of counting that's begun on the EVMs. Third or fourth round in some of the constituencies. That's how it is. So these numbers can further change, or they can, but they've changed dramatically. So they can change over the next 20-25 minutes. Anybody who thinks they have called the election or they think they've got the election already, numbers are there, they are making a mistake. It's not over yet. It's not over here also. It's not over here because there is a bit of an exchange happening here too. And there is a lot of drama happening here, and watch out for what the others are going to do, what the independents are going to do in their fight with the national conference candidates. Is this going to change in subsequent rounds of counting? We have to see how big are the leads. We'll have to wait and watch. 45-38,
Can
and
we
it's
see the
steady here for a
Dalit-dominated
bit.
seats
वो
on the
46
wall?
number
Can
नहीं
we
आया
see
अभी तक
some of the
BJP.
Dalit-dominated seats in Haryana on the wall,
if you look
please?
at the Kumari Selja factor, which is
Yes.
again a lot of it is from the Sirsa belt. There the Congress seems to be doing okay, 12, and the BJP is 9. But if you look at the reserved constituencies, and the point that you were making, Rahul, if you look at the SC seats, the BJP there is giving, it's actually the BJP that's leading. It's got 7, the Congress just 6. So which means that the BJP is doing better in the SC seats than
It's
perhaps
pulled back
it did
some of the
even in 2019.
And
even
do we have
compared to
OBC
2019.
seats here? Because if we can get a sense of the Jat versus OBC
So
consolidation.
here's
it'd
the
be great.
OBC seats. Let's take a look at how many seats. Again, the BJP 17-6. 17 out of 25 OBC dominated seats. The Congress only 6. And like I said, it's in this belt. This is all the way from Gurgaon,
The Ahirwal
Faridabad,
belt.
Bhiwani, going all the way up to Mahendragarh. This belt, the BJP seems to have consolidated the OBC vote.
Yes.
17 out of 25 to the BJP, only 6 to the Congress.
So let me just very quickly tell you, in the 2024 Lok Sabha, the BJP in this Ahirwal belt, just the Ahirwal belt, which is those seats, in the extreme corner, on the left corner, there you had a situation where the BJP had 6, the Congress had 4. In 2019, the BJP had 6, the Congress had 2. It's clearly the 2019 numbers are coming back in that area.
So the BJP is able to hold on, in fact, do better than what it
Yeah.
did in 2019 in this belt, which is the Ahirwal belt.
But I'm very curious why the NCR and Mewat belt, which is this little corner,
Here.
is not showing
Sir,
up.
Magic number 46 for the first time for the BJP in Haryana at 9:53 a.m. For the first time in Haryana, the BJP is touching the 46 number. They've got the magic number in Haryana for the first time. 9:53 a.m. on this Super Tuesday election coverage for the first time. 46 and 37. That's the story.
Super
how
Tuesday,
it's turned.
Super Surge,
Yes.
and Super Perked Up. Super Perked Up Advaita Kala. Advaita
No,
Kala,
you
what do you
just
make
have
of
to
this
pop
now?
up one
Come
or two
on.
of the Bhigoya huwa badam of Amitabh Mattuji to get you that energy boost.
She's the only one who
This
was
is not
talking
over.
about
This
the
is,
Dalits
this is
in the
getting
Jat
going.
vote.
This is getting
I
exciting.
was saying, I'm saying I need popcorn.
You need
not,
popcorn.
Not badam. But really, I mean, this is what we were talking about yesterday, with
Badam to exit polls
we
first
were
ko do.
assuming so much, really. We were assuming too much about, the fact that, the Jat vote is consolidating behind the Hudas and the Dalit vote has moved away from the BJP. And there's huge anger against the BJP as far as the Jats are concerned. None of that is bearing out. And really, I think that was an overestimation.
So
I
Kidwai
kept
Saab,
saying
let's
this.
bring in Kidwai Saab
Ji.
because I want to understand now from you, if this trend holds in Haryana, who should carry the can for this defeat? Is it the Hoodas again, or Rahul Gandhi must be still insulated? What's your analysis?
I think I'm very clear in my mind. If there is a debacle in the sense that the Congress thought that it's winning Haryana and loses, and so it will be, of course, the blame has to be shared by Rahul Gandhi and of course the state unit, because Rahul Gandhi was micromanaging. All the talking points were there. Agniveer, Kisan, Pahalwan, all these things had nothing to do with the, so to say, state politics. So he was targeting Narendra Modi government.
So were they all non-issues then?
It appears to be, if this holds, but I think still eventually things would be different.
But Rashid, I will ask you one thing. If this holds,
Yeah.
or if the Congress does not get the numbers that the exit pollsters projected, is that the end of Bhupinder Hooda in state politics in Haryana? Will he be retired by the Congress then?
Absolutely. I think it will be end of the road for Mr. Bhupinder Hooda, because there has to be 45 plus. If they are short of 45 plus, then BJP is going to form a government, because all the independents and Chautalas and all are going to come with the BJP. And we have seen in last election also there was an element of surprise. I mean, the Congress did actually well at that point of time. Nobody was expecting. Everybody was thinking the BJP will win. So Haryana has a history of throwing surprise, but a lot depends on the vote share. If there is a 2% vote share in favor of Congress, then things would change.
Yeah, but the vote share
Listen,
so far,
an hour back,
so far look like
to be
this.
fair, an hour back, Anand, we were talking about the Congressization of the
Correct,
BJP.
absolutely.
We were talking about how Mr. Modi is losing his mojo, as Mr. Gogoi said yesterday, of the Congress party. We were talking about how development has become the bugbear, unemployment has become the bugbear of the BJP. This is the Hindi heartland we're talking about.
Outside of Uttarakhand,
That's
Delhi
right.
upwards,
This
all
is-
of North was going to be.
That's right. This is the Hindi heartland we're talking about, where there is so-called distress.
47-36.
So what does this tell you?
So easily
does this
two
tell
clear
you?
of the halfway mark,
And
one
these are
clear of the
holding.
magic number.
These are holding
Can I tell you
now.
one more
They're
figure?
holding.
Yeah, one more
The
figure.
strike rate for the BJP at this moment is 51%, for Congress is 41% in Haryana.
And this was the election that the Congress would lose, was actually was winning. It was for it to lose.
No, and not just that. If these hold, see,
48-35.
the whole story of 48-35, 48-35, so 3 clear of the halfway number.
If you're going to have a close contest, then that's a
Yeah, and you can't just put this down to now bringing a Saini into the picture and this, that, the other. You can't just say that this is unalloyed from the performance
No, what's the
record of the
knock-on effect to
BJP.
Maharashtra?
And that's why, Anand, I am very upset with what is going on in Jammu and Kashmir.
Yeah.
Because in 5 years, Jammu and Kashmir has not seen the peace that it has seen. People are going to the movies after 32 years. Shias are out on the streets celebrating their festivals after 37 years, my friend. And if this is going to hold because of fear-mongering, I'm sorry, then and I'm going to say it very openly, Jammu and Kashmir doesn't deserve this election.
Okay,
No,
you're
on
welcome
this
to
day-
your point of view. Let the
on
results
this day,
settle.
actually questioning the
Let the
sagacity
results
of
settle.
voters is most
Hopefully,
unfortunate.
In terms of
If we are
historical parallels, I think in my memory, and I was a kid then, the 77 elections, Sheikh Abdullah was ailing and he fought against a united opposition. Jaiprakash Narayan, Morarji Desai, the Mirwais all opposed him. And the NC swept Jammu and Kashmir. And that was perhaps till this election the most inclusive election and a benchmark for fairness. I would say this is a benchmark of fairness, inclusiveness, and that's where the Prime Minister and the government must take credit. As far as voting preferences go, Rahul, I wish I could be as cynical as you are, but then this is democracy.
That's not true.
You work.
Look, I am not
verdict in
My
Haryana.
point is, the question that I want to ask you, Mr. Mattu, was the politics at that time as viciously polarized communally? Was there this constant fear-mongering as it is today? That's my worry. My worry is that a certain set of voters in this country are being told that the government at the centre is against their interests when the data doesn't seem to present that
Ever
fact.
since independence,
Yes.
there's always been a degree of polarization, not necessarily in communal terms, but in terms of ideology.
Well, I'm talking about communal
some
terms.
correction,
But also
some correction.
since 83 when Mrs. Gandhi...
Some correction and consolidation happening. I'm
So
just
there are a number of seats which the BJP is leading in, which it didn't have last time. Molana, Ladwa, Rohtak, Sonipat, Adampur, Tosham, Kalanor, Mahendragarh, Rewari, Ladwa. many of these seats are reserved Dalit seats.
Dalit seats.
And that is a
so
real
there is
story
a counter
emerging in this
consolidation
election.
that's happened the last time around.
They've got a
Yes, Zaka.
seven seat increase from last time. BJP had 40 last time, they're now at 47. The Congress at 31, they've gained 4. Where have they picked up the seats from? The
Are you
10
telling me
seats.
that the Dalits are now supporting the person who
No,
wants
the
to change the
votes are moving away
constitution
from
of India?
JJP.
The 10
Have a look at
seats,
this.
the 10 seats that the JJP had, JJP has 0 right now. Those 10 have split between the BJP and the Congress.
The Dalits are supporting those who are changing the constitution of India to deny them their rights. Is that what is happening, Anand? I mean, this is what I'm saying.
Or perhaps they have they realized the bluff, or have they realized that
People are rejecting cynical
a non-Jat chief minister 10 years for them was better than a Jat chief minister for them. So their lives were better off when it was a non-Jat chief minister at the helm rather than a Jat-led, Haryana.
That could bring in a point here.
Yeah.
Zaka has made a fascinating point. There was an assumption psychologically that in a 2-horse race, the Congress would benefit.
Yes.
Zaka is pointing out that's not happening. When whatever the other parties are losing is going evenly to Congress and BJP.
Yeah,
and I think we must point out, the role of the RSS in this. Because in the Lok Sabha election, where the BJP had a reverse, in Haryana it went down to 50% from 10 seats to 5 seats. A lot of it was because the RSS card didn't come out.
We should also talk about...
Yeah, so I'll come to that in a second. I'll just come to that in a second. In Haryana this time, the RSS cadre has gone out. So there seems to be a shift as a result of that. In Jammu, by the way, in Jammu as well, and I think Rashid is right, we should talk about Jammu. In Jammu was a lost cause about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
If the BJP is holding on in Jammu, maybe less than what they thought, but 24 seats they're holding on to. A lot of that is because in the last 1 month, a lot of the cadre has turned up.
Not just turned up. See, I think there has been a mending and course correction and also understanding and dialing down of the rhetoric within the BJP vis-a-vis the RSS. So a lot of the
But the story of the moment
have
right
happened.
now is Haryana.
But these are
Story
numbers.
of the moment
Before
is
we get
Haryana,
into all of
Anand.
those analytics, we have to ensure that tell our viewers that all rounds of counting are not yet over. It's not even up to the 5th round of counting. Things can change here. Things can change here, and it can change in favor of either of the entities involved in this electoral, because it's the ballot. It's the voter who could decide. But will they consolidate? Will they study? After the 5, 6 rounds, then will it further consolidate? Will there be a shift? We'll have to wait and watch. We'll see. Yes, Advaita Kala, Tom Wadakan of the BJP is also with us. We'll go to... Yeah.
So that's what I want to ask Nalan. So Nalan, are you saying that the BJP still needs the RSS?
Absolutely it does.
Because that was the comment that was made earlier.
So 2 things. One thing
Bina
that
RSS ke
by the way,
saksham hai wala comment has been...
So let me say, this is an important point to make. One of the things that I had argued in the new BJP was that the BJP is now far bigger than the RSS. That's true. Its dependence on RSS was much less, but that never meant that the RSS, without the RSS, the BJP, it doesn't need the RSS. And JP Nadda made that comment before the Lok Sabha election. There was a lot of anger in the RSS as a result of it. We did see in several states where the BJP had reverses, there was if not non-cooperation, certainly not enthusiasm among the cadres. Right? UP was an example of that. Haryana definitely was an example, and there was disaffection. In the last 2 months, there seems to have been a shift in that attitude, saying, look, because the political equations have changed, and some of that result we are seeing here.
See, not just disaffection, I'll tell you, if these results hold, again, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's very, very unlikely that this is going to be the scenario. If this remains the scenario, then the Congress has serious cause for worry. If this remains the scenario, then this could perhaps galvanize and rejuvenate the BJP cadre, which was looking jaded and flaccid, and perhaps the course correction internally within the BJP is working. We'll have to wait and watch. But if this remains the scenario, then we have other problems that we'll have to talk about going forward the road ahead. Will Mr. Omar Abdullah be far more amenable and ready to work with the central administration in taking the story forward, and will forget the electoral rhetoric of statehood lying, but stay with statehood and not going back to 370? Will that happen? If that happens, does that augur well that we have a collective administration and which works with the mandate of the people that is respected? How is the international narrative then going to be stitched if this holds? Or will this change in the next 3-4 rounds of counting? We don't know.
Anand, let's have a quick look at the Jat belt in Haryana. Let's have a quick look at the Jat belt
in Haryana. And if you just extrapolate what we see right now, Zaka, with 2019, where the BJP is gained or the Congress is gained.
So the Jat belt is almost evenly split. 4 gains to the BJP and 4 gains to the Congress. So the JJP, the INLD, between them, they lost 7 seats in this belt. Those 7 have evenly split between the Congress and the BJP, which, as you said, Rahul, I think in yesterday's program, that this assumption that the Jats are all en masse going to vote against the BJP, that's not bearing itself
I also
out.
said that the Vinesh Phogat factor, maybe people are reading too much into it, because there could be a consolidation amongst other Jats against her
No, there are
superlative
also
rise
counter narratives on
in
ground,
politics, because
which we don't talk about on mass
Yes,
media or
yes,
national media. There are counter narratives against
That's
what
right.
happened with Vinesh, and Vinesh's thing is that it was over with the June. She went to Paris. It was not that she was stopped from going to Paris. So how much of that works? She'll win from Julana as Julana.
She's leading. She's leading in
she's
Julana.
leading. She may win from Julana.
No, she'll definitely win.
No,
her
but,
seat.
but then if we
definitely
compare
leading.
it with the 2019 plot, 2019 result and this leaderboard, what do you think has the BJP retained more, and has it gained into some of those areas where it had lost the last time around?
So if in the Jat belt where it is right now 15 to Congress and 13 to BJP, if you were to look at the BJP 2024 leads from the Lok Sabha, how much is it holding on to? 6 seats. It's holding on to 6 seats. No gains from the last time, but it's not losing. Those 6 seats which it led in the Lok Sabha in 2024, it's not losing those 6 seats. If you were to look at the Congress on the other hand, in the Jat belt, they had 23. They've got a gain of 4. So from 9, they've gone up to 13. The 9 seats that they had the last time, they've gone up to 13. But like I said,
the BJP's gained 5. Huh?
Yeah, the gain for the BJP has been 5. But I think really this whole assumption that exit pollsters certainly seem to have made, that the Jats were so massively angry, they were so voluble in their anger against the BJP that they would en masse vote against the BJP. That has not come to bear.
Tom Vadakan of the BJP is with us. Tom Vadakanji, 10:05 a.m., just about 2 hours and 5 minutes into counting. Were you expecting this turn of, the story in Haryana? 46-36, 47-35. So 47. Right now you have the magic number and you're in position to form government. Just scrape through on the other side. Shaila is also with us at this point. And Tausif Shah of the PDP is also with us. Yes, Tom Vadakan. But Jammu and Kashmir, it seems to be going the National Conference Congress's way right now.
I had seen the exit polls, and despite that, I knew the groundwork that the Bharatiya Janata Party under the leadership of Modi ji would deliver, because we have delivered. People of Haryana have realized here's one party which is delivering 10 years and still in the lead. We will continue to lead, that is finally will be decided later. But in the present scenario, it's a clear indication that the people of Haryana have realized that this is a party that will deliver and will continue to deliver in future. This is not about politics. If you see the plight of Himachal
that
Pradesh,
was made. 49,
look at the
34,
plight of Karnataka.
49-34. So what's the correction that was made between
These
June
are the
2024
conditions that the states are in debt,
and September 2024?
And they don't have money to pay their salaries, pensions. And if that is the same condition that is going to happen in Haryana, I think God is in his heaven and all is well on earth.
But you lost ground in June 2024, that is Lok Sabha, and you seem to have held ground with respect to the Vidhan Sabha elections. Bhupinder Hooda camp said, Jawan, Kisan, Pahalwan, you've let down all 3 and that's why the BJP will lose. But here right now you're almost touching 50. You're 4 clear of the halfway number and, and seem very comfortable to form government on your own without even the JJP. So this is actually a better performance than the 2019. If this holds, I'm just saying as of now, what do you think is a critical change on ground? Can you hear me, Mr. Vadakan?
Yes, this is based on performance, Anand. This is hardcore performance. This is the development project, Beti Bachao program, the various programs that have been implemented in Haryana, especially for the farmers. And 23 crops are receiving MSP. And these are not minor developments. This is delivery. And when there's delivery and there's a false narrative run and there's a regime change apparatus functional, people of Haryana are wise. They can see through these games and they will decide. And I do hope that this situation continues.
Well, please stay on with us, Mr. Vadakan. We'll talk Jammu and Kashmir also. Shaila Rashid is with us. Ratan Lal Gupta, senior leader of the JK National Conference, should join us. Tausif Shah, spokesperson of the PDP, is also with us. Namaste to the lady and the gentleman. Now, Shaila Rashid, how would you see this? 52 seats right now, 52 leads for Congress plus NC. So they don't seem to need anybody to to stake claim. Even with the 5 nominations, they are 48 is the magic number. They are very clear.
Yeah. So I believe that as the day progresses, the numbers could get tempered. However, the overall trend holds. So the pollsters are not going to have a bad day. I think nobody is going to cry today on live TV because the predicted trend, and whatever was the word on the street, whatever was the news on the ground, that is pretty much holds. So there's no anomaly. There's no big anomaly. As I had said yesterday on your channel, that the only anomaly seemed to be PDP getting 5 to 7 seats, because the word on the street was that they'll get between 0 and 1 seats. So if they do manage to get more than 3-4 seats, that's a really good performance for them. But otherwise, all the results are along expected lines, and wherever there's a good candidate, he or she has won, or he or she seems to be winning. So that's the
century for the BJP in Haryana. As far as the leads are concerned, Congress NC at 52, PDP only at 3 leads right now. Tausif Shah, how would you see this?
Morning to Zika, Anand, and all the panelists. I would just start that we have to take it with a bit of sugar, a bit of pinch of salt. So we have to take it, whatever the people's verdict, we have to take it as it is. Maybe there are some mistakes we have made in the past, which the verdict is coming out of the ballot boxes. So we have to see how we can improve it, how we can. But let me personally tell you that we are eyeing not less than a double digit in this assembly. And the second thing is the best part, that we are happy that BJP is being ousted from J&K. Maybe that can be they are getting the leads in Jammu. Obviously they're getting the leads in Jammu. What we are seeing, what are the very early predictions we can say. So the things are going to change obviously lately in the day, as my
so you feel that Jammu and Kashmir mein thoda surat badlegi, seats ka distribution and what's going to happen. It's not going to be like this.
Yes.
It's not going to be a runaway win for Congress NC. That's what you feel.
No, we can see that once the day progresses, the ballot boxes open, because maybe they are opening the ballot boxes where one party has a very strong hold. In the constituency, there are approximately say 100 booths, and they have different story to tell. So maybe these are only 19 to 20 have been opened, or 30 have been opened. So we are still yet 70 to go. So they can change, they can trail, they can lead, whatever can happen.
So but PDP has just increased its lead by 1 as we are speaking. Tausif Shah, you believe you should touch double digits, then that changes the whole dynamic altogether?
Very surely, very confidently I am telling that.
Right. Let me ask Mr. Tom Wadakan. Mr. Tom Wadakan, Haryana, you are hovering around 49-50. You seem comfortable as of now. We'll keep park Haryana on the side. But Jammu and Kashmir, now are you okay with this scenario? Because this means a whole new dynamic in Jammu Kashmir politics. Now, are you okay with the Jammu and Kashmir, how it is panning out right now, how it's looking right now? BJP at 24, Congress NC at 52 leads, PDP at 4, others at 10. So the BJP will have to sit in opposition in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly, and it could be an Omar Abdullah who will be the Chief Minister, who will have to work with the LG, and the central administration will have to work with the National Conference Congress combined there. What does that do to the narrative post Article 370 abrogation?
Anand, going forward? Anand, I would hold my horses till the last vote is counted, because things can happen. You've seen that happen in Haryana, and things can happen there too in Jammu and Kashmir, because people of Jammu and Kashmir have realized that development is what they need. It is not this this kind of what I would call divisionary politics that they talk about, and that kind of that 370 must go and all that. So I think they've realized, they've tasted the pudding. So I don't think they're going to refuse.
So you feel there will be, it's not yet consolidated in Jammu Kashmir. Just quick update, Julana, Vinesh Fogart is trailing. EVM counting gathers pace and Vinesh Fogart is trailing. Julana ki Bahu is currently trailing. The Congress is now 16 seats lead behind the BJP. So the BJP 16 seats ahead in leads of the Congress party in Haryana. The INLD now leading in 3 seats. So is Gopal Kanda back in the lead in Sirsa?
No, I think in the Sirsa seat, at least as far as the magic wall is concerned, Gokul Setia of the Congress is leading.
Congress is leading, but INLD is showing 3 leads there and the others are leading in 5. Congress's lead really being shaved from about 55, 58 seats at one point in time to just 33
So basically they are back to where they were at 2019. In 2019, Congress had 31. The BJP had 40. The BJP has increased its tally by 9 this time around. The Congress is pretty much where it was in 2019. It had 31 last time. It's got 33 now. The big losers have been JJP, all 10 seats. The JJP is not leading in a single seat right now in Haryana. That seems to have split. The 2 seats that the wall is showing, Aditya Devilal is leading in the Dabwali seat, the grandson of the late Chief Minister, Mr. Devilal. From the Rania seat, Arjun Chautala is leading. The 3rd seat, which is his father's seat, Abhay Chautala, is currently trailing in Elanabad. But I think these 3 seats are the ones that the INLD seems to be getting back from the JJP. As far as the BJP is concerned, 50 seats is what we are showing right now. The BJP has consolidated, no doubt, in this southern belt. Also, this belt, the rural part, which is in the western side, so places like Tosham, places like Nalwa,
this is the
Adampur.
This is the Jatsik Ahirwal belt.
Yeah, this is the belt that Rahul has been talking about. The Jatsik and Ahirwals. It seems to have really consolidated in this belt, and of course, holding on to
seats,
the GT corridor.
If you look right up to 41 and I don't know, those seats up there,
complete turn of events. Now BJP, complete turn of events in Haryana. BJP now leading in 50 seats. Congress is now only in 32. BJP is in 50.
And if Vinesh Fogart is trailing,
then
BJP
have
is
the voters,
have the Haryana voters rejected this whole Pahalwan and this whole big business about, you know, women, etc., been actually shown their place. We have to ask these questions.
Yeah,
Anand, I don't know why you're being a little
51 now, 51 for the BJP.
Yeah. Anand, you have to pose these
52 for the BJP,
52.
31 for the Congress, 52 for the BJP.
This
One
is
of the
what I
others
said,
also pinched away by the BJP, 52-31.
Just because a certain section of the media was going on about this, I said yesterday as well, there is an element, Swati Malik for one, voiced it publicly, where she felt Fogart was using this as a self-serving maneuver. So I don't think everything was a monolith in the way we've been discussing it.
No, and there was this absolute charge that Miss Fogart herself was not supported by the government at the Olympic Games. She came out and actually alluded to this.
All 4 assembly seats of Gurugram are with the BJP, and that's where you had a defection. You had Ravinder Singh move out of that region. You also saw that there were certain defections from the BJP which happened. Ashok Tanwar left the BJP and then he comes. So all of that has
Mr. Modi has been saying, now hang on, Mr. Modi has been saying that look, all of these campaigns are orchestrated against his party deliberately to sour the mood of the voter, to mislead the voter, to undermine the voters' faith and trust in his Vikas model.
27 rallies. 27 rallies in Haryana, both by Amit Shah and by the Prime Minister. Many said it's not going to work, it's going to backfire, and his entire leverage is on the ticket. Now with 51 seats, then does that happen? Mr. Vadakan, what would you like to say? Tell Mr. Gaurav Gogoi, who said that the states will reject PM Modi and he's lost his mojo. He's no longer able to influence at the state level.
Well, the reality is stark clear that Prime Minister Modi ji is accepted across Haryana. That's the message that's coming in. And that wrestler lady who lost by 100 grams is losing by more grams here. And let us say that this kind of regime change operations that they work out is not acceptable. They tried that through the agitations that were there. You had 4 or 5 sabotages, railway sabotages. This doesn't work. This country will not tolerate this kind of operations. While we receive Vande Mataram trains, there's destruction at the different stations. Do you think people of India will accept it? This kind of backdoor sabotage won't work. You can't come from the back door. You have to be accepted in a democratic setup.
But that story does not seem to be holding for you in Jammu and Kashmir. How would you explain Jammu and Kashmir there then? That the people have voted for Congress plus National Conference so far.
Well, Jammu and Kashmir is a situation that's developing. Let's wait. And I believe still that things will change. So let us wait, Anand. I think things are not. The last word has not been said yet.
Shaila Rashid, how does it change the story altogether post abrogation of 370 if the Congress NC were to be in power, Mr. Omar Abdullah were to be Chief Minister?
No, so first of all, the numbers, as I said, they are likely to get tempered. So this 55-50 number that we are seeing right now, it will settle around like 39-40. That's the very least that we should expect. So it's not going to be this kind of a skew. Now, you have to understand there's a difference between what political parties will try to make it out to be. They will say that this is a rejection of 370, etc., etc. But let's not forget that there was an election before the assembly election, Lok Sabha election, where both Omar Abdullah and Mufti, they actually lost their seats. So it's, the political parties are going to make it about 370. But I can tell you with confidence that, people here on the ground, for them 370 is a thing of the past. They are like fed up of that narrative and they want different things. They want whoever comes to power to come up with an economic package, to come up with a package of employment. So this is something I'm going to point out. When Prime Minister Modi came here during the assembly election, came here for a rally on Srinagar. So I was watching the speech very carefully, and the loudest cheers came when he talked about zero electricity bills. And he talked about solar power, that there'll be an 80,000 rupees subsidy on installation of solar power. What does that tell you? That tells you that the biggest issue of people is electricity bills. And Anand, even when you were in Srinagar before I think during the Lok Sabha election, those are the things that I told you, that electricity is the biggest issue.
Electricity, waste management, you said
waste
was an
management. But yeah, I am the only person talking about waste management. Nobody else is talking about it.
People talked about dog bites. People talked about the fact that there were rabid dogs which are scavengers, which are attacking people on the streets, and it was difficult to
it's a very big issue.
Cycling. It was local issues. It was local issues, and people said these were issues. But I'm just saying that the BJP did not field candidates across the seats, and whoever fielded candidates, the PDP has been rejected, the National Conference has been selected. If you see, the PDP contested hotly, right? It's not that they have not contested the seats. They seem to be in single digits. National Conference is in high double digits, and sweeping the Kashmir division, and with making inroads in Jammu division also. All of that is happening. I just have to take a break. I'll come back to you, Tausif Shah. Bhupinder Hooda is speaking, and then we'll play out Kumari Shelja also spoken with Yash.
कांग्रेस की सरकार बनने जा रही है भाई।
सर आपको किसी अलायंस की जरूरत पड़ेगी या कांग्रेस एबल टू
नहीं, कांग्रेस अपनी मेजोरिटी लाएगी।
सर फुल फ्लैग मेजोरिटी वाली कांग्रेस की सरकार बनेगी, पूरी उम्मीद है आपको?
कह तो जगह कितनी बार कह रहा हूँ।
सर क्रेडिट गोज टू राहुल गांधी एंड भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा जी ओनली।
क्रेडिट गोज टू पार्टी, राहुल गांधी जी, मल्लिका खड़गे जी, प्रियंका जी, all leaders of the Congress.
So what's your
and real credit goes to the people of Haryana.
What will be your priority, sir, after the form government? What will be your priority?
How many questions will you ask? You ask one question. There are others also.
सर काफी रुझानों में क्लोज कंटेस्ट नजर आ रहा है, ऐसा एक्सपेक्टेड था क्या?
नहीं था, जहाँ कहीं क्लोज है, कहीं है, लेकिन कांग्रेस इज गेटिंग मेजोरिटी।
सर आपके लिए नतीजे आने वाले हैं, जो नतीजे अभी दिख रहे हैं?
नतीजे मेरे को मालूम है, कांग्रेस की सरकार बनने जा रही है। अरे नहीं जलेबी खा सबने।
Thank you so much, ma'am, for speaking to CNN News 18. Early trends suggested that Congress was taking away the lead, but now things are changing a little bit. The numbers are going here and there. How do you see these trends?
It seems to be going haywire, and but soon it will settle down, and you will see that Congress will form the government with an overwhelming majority.
Ma'am, you were very confident that Congress will be crossing the 60 mark. Are you still confident about that?
I'm still confident.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, another question which is still everyone is actually pondering upon is about who will be the chief minister, because you are saying the decision will be made by High Command, and Mr. Hooda is saying that decision will be made by the MLAs.
Well, I don't know what he has said, but I can tell you, and I've said this earlier, because I know how our party works, and I'm sure even he would have said that. See, there's a CLP meeting which is called, and then the observers talk to the MLAs, and then there's a resolution. First, there's a resolution which authorizes the High Command, and final word rests with the High Command.
Ma'am, since when we're talking about these elections, one equation are we still looking at, like of a chief minister and a deputy chief minister, so that kind of equation can also be playing out?
I'm no one to comment on that.
So ma'am, just one final question, ma'am. the kind of results, the kinds of trends we are seeing right now, what do you think worked really in favor of the Congress party? Were the hyper local issues more prominent this time around, or the statewide issues actually really worked?
Well, there were a lot of issues, and it's always a mix of few issues. There can't be one. The primary two issues, I would say, are anti-BJP feeling because of their 10 years rule or misrule, shall we call it. People were tired of them, people were tired of false promises, and people were looking towards a new dawn in Haryana. And that was provided by Rahul ji when he came on his Padayatra. And after that, subsequently, environment has been built. In the country also, you've seen Rahul ji, how he takes on the BJP and their misrule. And all the Congress workers have worked on.
All right, I want to go across to Dolly Sharma of the Congress Party. We'll get a quick word from her. So initially in the morning, Dolly Sharma, it was almost 50-55 seats leads to the Congress. Now it seems like the BJP is ahead. It's 46 BJP, 38 to the Congress. Are you still confident that Congress can reverse this trend?
Of course, we are still very confident and we'll be forming the government in Haryana for sure, Zaka.
But on what basis are you saying that? 1 hour ago, Congress was at 55. Now Congress is at 39. BJP was at 25, it's now at 45.
No, we will form government. The data that you've shown 1 hour ago and now that you're showing, it will again change. And people, because this time in Haryana, people were fighting this election. Locals were fighting, and you must have seen the tiny figure that we have seen of the Prime Minister in the posters, when there was always a very big picture flashing everywhere. Prime Minister was nowhere in the rallies, in the campaigns, and also the issues of the people of Haryana, whether it is the wrestlers, the farmers, the Agniveer, various issues played a very important role in this election, and hopefully, I'm sure we will form the government.
Very quickly, you said Kisan, Jawan, Pahalwan were all upset with the BJP. Yes. But BJP, yes, like I said, is still at 45, Congress still at 39. Where is this anger or anti-incumbency? It's not showing, at least in the results so far.
You will see in some time Congress will form the government. We are very sure.
Okay, Dolly Sharma, thank you very much. Let's bring it back to the panelists here. Nalin wanted to make a point about...
Quick point, Zaka. What we are seeing, so one about what's happening in Haryana and what it means for national politics. Within Haryana, we are seeing 4 or 5 key trends emerging. The assumption that Jats had turned against BJP is not holding up. The Jat vote is equally split. Among the Jat-dominated seats, the split right now is 15-13 between BJP and Congress.
Correct.
That's number one. Number two, Dalits were a key factor in Haryana, and in fact in UP, a reason why BJP lost in Lok Sabha to the extent it did was because of the Dalit vote shifting away. In the Dalit-dominated seats, BJP is ahead of Congress in Haryana at the moment.
That's very significant.
8 compared to 6. Now, that has larger ramifications for national politics and in the heartland. The third is, in larger OBC-dominated seats, again, BJP is at 18, Congress is at 4.
Anil Vij is trailing, or ye 45-39, Anil Vij is trailing, Aditya Devilal is trailing. Some of the big names, key race alerts, if you can call. Digvijay Singh Chautala is trailing in Dabwali in Haryana. So that's another important. Abhay Singh Chautala is trailing in Ellenabad in Haryana. So the INLD
so that
big
Sirsa
names.
belt,
Savitri Jindal continues to lead.
The Sirsa belt, other than Arjun Chautala, who is leading from Rania,
Fogart is back in
all
the lead.
others seem to be going back to the
Fogart
Congress.
is back in the lead. Vinesh Fogart is back in the lead. Aditya
Fogart.
Surjewala leading from Kaithal in Haryana. So some changes that Naib Singh Saini continues to lead from Ladwa.
So I think you will see this again crystallizing, like you've been saying, Anand. We were looking at 50 plus for the BJP. It's come down to 45, 31-32.
We'll try and get those data. We'll try and get Avantika also to get that from the live result hub. Which are the close contests?
So there are many seats where they're less than 1,000. Let's try to go across to our hub
Avantika,
and get a sense from
Avantika. Do we know which are the close contests, especially Haryana? What's the margin of leads or margin of trailing? How many seats where it's less than 1,000?
इकबाल जी बताइए जो कौन सी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी है जहाँ पर काफी क्लोज कॉन्टेस्ट हो रहा है? आनंद, इट्स क्लियरली बीन अ ड्रामेटिक टर्न अराउंड ऑफ इवेंट्स, अ थ्रिलर ऑफ अ कॉन्टेस्ट.
अभी देखिए, अभी बता दें, जैसे विनेश फोगाट का था तो अभी ये पीछे हो गई थी. शुरुआती दौर से लगातार आगे बनी हुई थी, लेकिन बीच में पीछे हो गई और जस्ट अभी लीड करने लगी. हाँ, तो इस तरीके का एक तुरंत जो है ये चेंजेबल जो है देखने को मिल रहा है. वहीं आदित्य सुरजेवाला का भी हुआ है कि आदित्य सुरजेवाला शुरुआती दौर में आगे चल रहे थे, लेकिन फिर पीछे हो गए थे. फिर से आदित्य सुरजेवाला जो है,
गांव के चारों सीटों में तो बीजेपी का लीड है.
3 सीटों पे हाँ बीजेपी लीड कर रही है और 1 सीट पे कांग्रेस आगे है.
क्लोज कॉन्टेस्ट बताइए और कहां पर हो रहा है हरियाणा में?
क्लोज कॉन्टेस्ट अभी तो यही देखने को तो यही मिला है. बाकी अगर बिग फाइट की बात करें तो ये देखिए, अभी सारी बिग फाइट चाहे वो भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा है, लगातार लीड पे बने हुए हैं अभी भी उनकी भी सीट पे. उसके अलावा और भी ऐसी कई सीटें हैं जहाँ पे थोड़ा सा चेंज हो रहा है. कभी कांग्रेस लीड कर रही है तो कहीं बीजेपी लीड कर रही है. ये
कितने राउंड्स हो गए? How many rounds of counting?
4 rounds. Fourth round is about to finish.
4 rounds is done. So we'll try.
No, it's about to finish. It's still continuing.
It's about to finish. So
Yeah.
5th and 6th round. By the time we come to the 6th round, then we'll have to see how many seats are there is a give and go of less than 1,000.
Okay,
less than
Anand,
1,000. Yes, Avantika.
Just very quickly, there's an update that the 5th round has also begun in a few places.
Okay, so 5th round has also begun in a few places. There is some correction which is happening here. Some numbers up and down, they will settle in maybe in about a half an hour, 45 minutes from now. This could be a different scenario. That's what many believe. BJP back up to that magic number of 46. Congress down to 38. It was 45, 39 for a while. So clearly give and go happening in a few seats between the BJP and the Congress party. Now it's 47, 37. It's 47, 37. Yes.
On the close seats, there are about 9 to 10 seats which are under 1,000 margin at the moment.
9 to 10 seats under 1,000 margin.
Out of the list that we see on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
And the important point is they're evenly split between Congress and BJP. So they're not much to say statistically. For example, in Adampur, BJP is trailing by 860 votes. In Ambala Cant, it's trailing by 943 votes. But the others
Ambala Cant is Anil Vij's seat.
So there are about 10
Ambala
seats
Cant
evenly
is Anil
split.
Vij's seat.
Yeah, that's right.
So if these 10 seats keep swapping their leads, then you'll keep seeing a bit of a change at the leaderboard.
49-35 हो गया. 49-35.
So that could go up to 38.
अगर ये 49-35 है, कांग्रेस सरकार नहीं
it's not
बनाती
affecting
है.
the larger
तो then
tally of the
Bhupendra
vote.
Hooda retired.
That's right.
It's not like one party
Yes,
is
yes.
I mean,
I
this is
understand.
his call, but of course, this was his make or break.
No, his
kind
call
of
नहीं,
election.
center का call होगा ना. Then the Congress party will have to look beyond Mr. Hooda.
No, Anand, you don't expect Bhupendra Singh Hooda to be expelled. I think Bhupendra Singh
Not
Hooda,
expelled,
it will be
retired.
It will end of the road for him. No, nobody retires from politics. You have Mallikarjun Kharge, who's
50-35 now.
You get
50-35.
tired of politics, but you don't get retired from politics. That's what he's saying. Okay, one second, but I just want to make a point. I just want to make 3 or 4 points. Look, if you look at this number in Haryana, whichever way now this result goes, even if the BJP ends up a little short of the majority mark and the Congress gets closer to it, this is a fight to the wire, my dear friend.
And a great comeback on
So
the part of
Rahul
BJP.
Gandhi has been holding up the constitution, saying that I am the guardian of the constitution. Will he now come out and concede that perhaps the BJP or the public still believes that Modi is the guardian of the constitution of India? This will fundamentally impact also, my dear friends, the kind of campaign that they're going to run in Maharashtra. If the BJP manages to hold on to Haryana, it will have ripple effects in Maharashtra, in Jharkhand,
and then Delhi.
And Delhi,
Yeah.
of course.
See,
So, because
AAP is
the
nowhere.
AAP is nowhere
in Haryana
In
right
Haryana, absolutely nowhere. At least in the Lok Sabha scheme of things, it had leads in 4. But here,
I'm looking at it from a larger narrative. Then does it now become increasingly across the national, face of it, theatre, the electoral theatre? Will it now become a two-party fight?
No,
Will the
but that
vote
is the
start
point.
consolidating
Anand, that
between
is
the
point.
BJP
when
and the
Congress is up against the BJP, it doesn't make much of a dent. You come back to that same chestnut. In a straight fight between the Congress and the BJP, the Congress is not making. So when it is with an alliance,
that's one point. That's
when
one
it is
point.
an
But in the
alliance-
mind of the voter, if I am not for the BJP, then I will vote with the Congress. I will not go with the regional party.
Well, look,
now, will
it's
that
too early.
change the six-party dynamic
It's
in
too early.
in Maharashtra? What happens there then?
It's too early. It's too early to make that claim.
Maharashtra would be a new situation, new kind of thing. I don't think political parties are going to change, their strategy just because, Haryana has, voted in a certain way. Of course, it's a setback for the Congress if these numbers hold on. And there will be a lot of introspection and the whole thing about Dalit votes, the way Shailja was treated, all these things will come into question.
Chief, yes, Advaita Kala.
It's a massive setback because remember they've already run with the narrative. There were celebrations going on in the Congress party. I mean, this in other news, you know, Pakistani International Airlines flight has left from Toronto 3 hours early without any passengers. I mean, it kind of likens it to what the Congress was doing in Haryana. They were all over saying that we've won. The people are with us.
Airline joke.
You didn't get the airline joke.
It's left without anybody flying.
It left without anyone flying on the plane. They already left from, and this is a true story. It's happened right now.
तो वो ऐसा है कि भाई उस प्लेन में कोई बैठा नहीं तो इस प्लेन में कोई बैठा नहीं. That's what she.
One other thing.
48 था 49-35.
Yeah, the one trend that's coming out of Haryana is very clear. The OBC seats, the OBC dominant seats, 25 out of 90. BJP is winning in 17. That's a gain of 3 from last time. They've added 3 more to the OBC dominant seats. So the reason why this is important is because when Rahul Gandhi says we'll do caste census, you know, there are no secretaries who are OBCs to the government of India. I think again the voter of Haryana is saying that the OBCs are very much firmly with the BJP. No. You can call it, you know, caste calculus or whatever, cynical politics. But fact is that the OBCs, I mean, look at the ratio. I mean, BJP is winning 3 times more seats that are OBC dominant in Haryana.
So do the OBCs not actually want a caste census?
I
mean, these are questions
I think the Congress has to learn that in Haryana now, you have to play non-jat politics. 36 castes are there. You can't play it around one caste, and because the others will counter consolidate, and that's the counter consolidation. Irrespective of whatever the narrative, I don't want a Jat SCM. I don't want a Jat.
Look at the Jat seats. Look at the Jat seats.
This is a Jat.
Evenly split between Congress and BJP. 14 to the BJP, 14 to the Congress. In fact, the BJP's gains are more than that of the Congress. And presumably a lot of this has come from the JJP, which had 10 seats last time. A lot of it has come from the INLD. But it's evenly split. The dominant agrarian caste is evenly split between Congress and BJP.
Zaka, what you're showing, so BJP has got, +5, I mean,
number of seats,
and they're getting from JJP, which was their ally.
Yes.
So it's like, it's the same kitty.
No, kitty है, लेकिन vote Congress को तो नहीं गया ना, sir.
Can I make a small point?
आया तो BJP को है.
Another slightly facetious point. Another facetious point. Give me, just allow me my facetiousness. The BJP came back 3rd record time at the center. Could it come back a 3rd historic record time in Haryana? No one has ever done that. Over to you.
So it looks like on the face of it right now, with you on the screen and the numbers below you, Rahul, we'll just take this moment and screenshot it. Yeah.
2 points I want to make. One is to Rashid and to Rahul, and second is a larger point. On Rashid's point on JGP being part of the same kitty, actually, there was an assumption by a lot of political analysts that the BJP had outsourced the Jat vote to JJP and others. Right? They only got it because of these guys.
Correct.
What this is showing is, and therefore the assumption was that in a 2-party split, when these guys break up, this will all go to Congress.
Correct.
That is not happening.
That is not happening. And also the leadership, the Jat leadership of Haryana, which came back and said, give us the vote, had been rejected twice in the past because they realized this is not the people who I want to govern the state. Yeah.
The second point, which is in response to what Rahul is pointing out, Haryana is a state where the BJP never crossed 30% vote share before 2014.
Correct.
There was a new age of Haryana politics after Narendra Modi from 2014 onwards. We've seen 10 years of that, and a lot of people are thinking that's over. Now we're back to the old political
mean.
The EC what this is showing is not over.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the old mean is
Nalin, is the EC
website, all those tropes about Hindutva is gone and buried.
Congress compared to the BJP.
Sorry?
Is the EC website showing more vote share for the Congress compared to the BJP in Haryana?
But I'll tell you what the difference
but that
is.
doesn't
The
mean
EC website at the moment, the BJP vote share is about 39%. The Congress vote share is 41%.
41%.
That, by the way, is lesser than what it had in Lok Sabha.
Yeah, but like somebody said this morning that vote share is a loser's argument.
And one second, in Karnataka,
eventually it's the seats that count.
And in Karnataka, the BJP had a higher vote share when it lost in the Vidhan Sabha election.
So vote share is a loser's argument.
You could be doing very
but
well in
going on that note, 51-33 on the leaderboard. Rahul Shivshankar, would you want to make your facetious argument again so that we can screenshot it on this highest number lead?
My facetious comment here is that the people of Haryana are looking through the facetious arguments that are made by another namesake.
Okay, even as you say, another Another, it's a screenshot moment for Rahul Shivshankar. 49, less than 50 and 27 for the BJP in Jammu and Kashmir. So, वहाँ भी किस्सा बदल रहा है. But bringing in another spokesperson,
I don't mean,
national spokesperson of the BJP.
I don't mean to be so facetious.
No,
the point is, no, it's not all right. Actually,
you can take a
one
leaf
needs to be objective.
of your
one needs to be objective, but there are certain
As you
questions.
said.
There are certain questions that need to be asked now, and fundamentally, those questions are that when you hold up the Constitution and you say that I'm the guardian of that Constitution, are the people actually believing you? This is a straight fight between the Congress and the BJP. And since people have told me that we should never question the wisdom of the voter, then one has to endorse here the wisdom of the voter by suggesting that, look, in the absence of a cynical politics, because we didn't see much polarization talk, the Prime Minister focused on corruption as the main issue.
See, now we'll wait for the results to settle. I'll reserve my comments till then. 51-33, just going across to one of the spokespersons who was perhaps the only one outside of Tuin Sinha who said Haryana numbers will be in favor of the BJP. Let's talk to her when the numbers look in favor of the BJP. They've not yet settled. Charu Pragya, what do you say? Will these numbers settle or will the Congress bounce back?
Good morning to everyone in the studio, and I have to tell you I've been thoroughly enjoying the banter. So thank you for all of that, Rahul. I have consistently maintained that BJP has shown now there is a thing as pro-incumbency. So you can be in power and work for upliftment of the people in a way that they want to bring you back. It happened with Madhya Pradesh, and I assure you it is happening with Haryana as we speak. I have been very, very insistent on this. This whole narrative of Jat Naraz hai, Rahul Gandhi again and again pushing the caste issue, saying a caste census is needed. All of this has been negated. People of Haryana, people of India in fact have said a big fat no to this division on the lines of caste. That's one thing. The second thing is that the people of Haryana are also seeing how Congress has been performing in states where it has a government. They want to talk about MSP in Haryana. What about Karnataka? Doesn't Karnataka have farmers? Don't those farmers need MSP? In Himachal Pradesh, you promised a pension, you gave the pension. But while you did that, you didn't have any money left to pay the salaries even.
All of this... is it all of this or is it just three factors? One is 6 महीने पहले सीएम बदलो, जिसको हटाया उसको सेंटर में ले जाओ और फिर जिसको बनाया उसको फिर ओबीसी से बनाओ. Then the fourth part is कि आप आरएसएस के बिना सक्षम नहीं हैं.
देखिए, आरएसएस से बीजेपी अलग नहीं है आनंद, and I have always said this. That's one thing. The second thing is positions within
I never said कि RSS के बिना सक्षम है. It was said by the national president of the BJP.
No. So I do not agree with that, and that is my personal statement. But moving on, see, if even if there is a change of guard, so to say, within the party, do you see anybody going up in arms about it? Congress, even before they win an election, they're fighting for the chair. That's the problem of the Congress. They are contesting elections on social media. You can't make 30-second reels.
Anil Vij did and he's trailing from Ambala Cant at the moment.
Reels and say we have won on Twitter. That is unfortunate, but wait and watch. Let's wait and watch. BJP can't win every single seat. I wish that was the case.
You said nobody spoke up. Those who spoke up are trailing. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying anything. Anil Vij is trailing right now.
Yeah, he is trailing.
He's trailing 51-30. 11 seat gain for the Congress, for the BJP without the JJP this time. So is it telling a story there saying that wherever the BJP fights on its own, it's better off? So is that a message for Maharashtra also?
Yeah, no, I think to give Charu Pragya credit, she came on the exit poll day and she was the one person who said this whole business about Jat anger. She's from Western Uttar Pradesh, so I guess she knows a thing or two about this
Jat anger
thing. I mean, Nalin's here. We heard this in 2017. We heard this in 2022. It's evenly split. In fact, the gains that the BJP has is more than the gains of the Congress. The Congress gaining 3, the BJP gaining 5. But it's split between the BJP and the Congress. If the Jats were really angry and they consolidated and they wanted to vote out the BJP candidates, this wouldn't have been 14-14 out of the 30 seats that are dominant. And also, you have to remember on the other side is a projected Jat chief minister in Bhupinder Singh Hooda. And yet, if the BJP is getting a gain of 5 in the Jat belt, or evenly split between the Congress and the BJP, 14 seats to the BJP and 14 to the Congress, then this whole, voluble stuff that you hear in the media about the Jats being angry, that's not translating on the ground.
It also means, Zaka, that for the longest time, the BJP's had this thing of a social coalition outside of the Jats, with a significant proportion of the Jats with it.
Correct.
And the assumption was that the Jats are reacting to that as a dominant caste in Haryana. That is not holding up.
Yeah.
Which means that the BJP's social coalition is intact with the Jats. And by the way, like you mentioned, 2017, 2024, 2019, a very significant part of why the BJP won those elections was because of the Jat vote also being with it.
Okay,
and that is
still interesting analysis. I'm quoting Professor Nachiketa Tiwari of IIT Kanpur. He's saying 2-3 parts in Haryana. Jat vote split almost 50-50 as Zaka was showing. INC slightly ahead. Hooda was not all that strong. That's the moral of the story. Second, Harijan votes have split. So almost 50-50. So BJP slightly ahead. That means Kumari Shailja was not inconsequential for the Congress. Yeah. So OBC votes heavily in favor of the BJP. So overall, the Indian National Congress, especially Rahul Gandhi, perhaps did he mess it up that he couldn't reconcile the warring factions within the Congress party, and is that what is hurting them? And the BJP got its act together, sorted the mess with the RSS.
Trying to say,
just in time, along with Naib Singh Saini's announcement.
Is this gentleman trying to say that had the warring factions been completely sort of settled, the Congress would have swept the state? I don't think so.
Strategy.
This is all now post-facto analysis to try and paper over once again the fact that the Congress, unfortunately, could end up as a poor second
and also
to the BJP.
50-34 is a poor second. It's worse than
after
last time.
10 years
it's
of
worse than last
incumbency. After 10 years of incumbency, my dear friend.
Yeah, and it's worse than last time. And also, despite the reversals or the gains the Congress got at Lok Sabha.
Exactly.
Reversals or the gains Congress got. Yeah, please.
You know, like I was mentioning yesterday, this is another satrap, a regional satrap who hasn't done well. Remember I said, Baghel, Gehlot, in the narrative was, they seem to be overestimated as these magicians who are going to pull this off for the Congress. And it's not happening.
No, but then if Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar could do it in Karnataka, why couldn't a Hooda do it in Haryana?
But look at the numbers who have not. If you're looking at the numbers of
that's
people
okay,
who
but you
have
have
done
cases
it.
on both sides.
The other side of the same coin is that the BJP is doing it without a single leader on the ground, just like in Chhattisgarh, just like in Madhya Pradesh, where you're not fighting on the back of one single ground leader.
If you look at the Dalit vote, again 14 seats, the reserve constituencies, again it's evenly split between the BJP and the Congress. So this whole thing about, Samvidhan bachayenge and, we will up the reservation to about 50%, it's not working on the ground. I mean, for whatever reason, I guess at some point, Rahul Gandhi, the Congress party, the Hoodas have to sit down and figure out why this is not working.
They have to go beyond Jat politics.
Anand, can I make a larger point on this?
Hinging on Jat politics.
What this may mean.
Simple.
And also just very quickly, also I think this Samvidhan Bachayenge, now they have an opportunity to prove it in J&K, where their partner is saying that we want to roll back the abrogation of Article 370. So now is the time for the Congress to say that
if the Congress NC comes into power in Jammu and Kashmir, then the Samvidhan Bachayenge will be challenged there. They will have to walk the talk on Samvidhan.
They'll have to walk the talk, and if they don't,
we'll get Mr. Mattu and Aarti Tikku back.
And if they don't walk that talk, then they're giving a handle to the BJP in a state like Maharashtra.
Yeah, the larger political point is that after the 2024 Lok Sabha election, a lot of people, especially the liberals, said the Modi magic is over. Rahul Gandhi is the new game in town. And the Hindi heartland, the BJP is now going to see reverses.
No, I have one problem with that formulation.
If this then that's not true. Then it means that then you should start also, it's possible to start looking at the 2024 election as an aberration of local results, and the larger trend is, while there's been dents in the BJP wall, it means that it's holding.
Does this mean that we will see more organizational recalibration within the BJP, and they will get their act together, and they will not get into the congressifying of the BJP? That will happen. That has been talked about.
My one little grouse, let's not call them the liberal space, please. They are the anti-Modi space. There is politics done in this country. The central pillar is Modi. You're pro-Modi or you're anti-Modi. Let's recognize there's no right, there's no left, there's no liberal. We are all liberals sitting here. We all love democracy. We all believe in human rights. We all believe in minority rights. We're all liberals.
We support Modi, so we are illiberal.
No, I don't. Look,
if we support Modi, we are illiberal. If we support the government of the day, we voted for the government of the day, we are illiberal.
I support certain ideas. I'm person agnostic. I'll tell you this very clearly. But the point of the matter is that this whole chimera, that one particular side that might support, for example, the abrogation of Article 370, is autocratic, is against human rights. This is bunkum, drop it, end it.
No, true. The point is that if you believe in one nation, one constitution, then you cannot be called a bhakt or a.
You're not any greater liberal
that
if
is
you
supposed
believe
to be the
in
agenda
if you
of the
believe in 370
of the parliament under the Congress party in the 1960s when they voted for the abrogation of 370, but they didn't do it. They were unanimous in their opinion, but they didn't do it. So what they didn't do in the 60s, if it's been done in the 2000s, then we have to look back at ourselves as an entity. But what's happening in Jammu and Kashmir? BJP 28 and Congress NC below 50, 48. Aarti Tikku, who was it? What was the conversation going on? I am very keen to know.
Well, Anand, I have been consistent that BJP will perform pretty good in Jammu region.
This is their best ever if this holds. Huh? This is their best ever in Jammu.
Absolutely. Their worst case scenario will be going below 26. But I think if they retain 26 seats, that would be a good performance. If they go above 26, that would be excellent performance.
There's one BJP candidate in Shopian, Javed Ahmed Qadri of the BJP.
Shopian?
In Shopian.
Of all the seats.
Yeah,
wow.
That's the one seat in the
Gurez is not yet showing, but
Shopian
Gurez will have
where
to see. Amitabh Matuji.
6 years back, the tricolor was in
There
flow.
are only two real cadre-based parties in Jammu and Kashmir. One, the RSS, which is the backbone of the BJP in Jammu, and the National Conference, which has had a cadre based on the fact that they gave land rights to the tillers since 1940s, and the NC has swept Kashmir. Jammu, especially Jammu, Kathua, Samba, Udhampur, has been swept by the BJP. And Congress, contrary to when you show Congress plus NC, it's really NC at 39 and Congress at 78.
Congress is in less than
Congress here also is pulling down. Congress here also has pulled down the
other
NC.
big story, apart from the fact that the NC has swept Kashmir and BJP has done well in Jammu, is the fact that the independents or the smaller parties in the valley who were thought
That's the alliance breakup, Amitabh ji.
Who were thought to splinter the verdict of in the valley have not worked.
CPIM has made inroads.
And that's why
Islami, including in Birwa, Sarjan Kumar,
the Trojans haven't worked.
None of them seem to have worked. Of course, some of the smaller parties have consolidated where they've had a base. Imran Ansari and Sajjad in their respective bases. Altaf Bukhari in his constituency.
So Shaila Rashid was making this point yesterday, and one must credit her because she said that look, parties that don't have a cadre are not going to make an impact in Kashmir, and that's one of the reasons why, according to her, the BJP hasn't done so well because it hasn't really got a ground game.
Can I just quickly run you through these independents or smaller party candidates who are currently leading? So Sajjad Lone's leading from Handwara. In Langate, which is Engineer Rashid's constituency, again, the JKPC candidate there, Irfan Sultan, he's leading. Again, in the neighbouring constituency of Rafiabad, you have an independent who's leading, Muzaffar Ahmed Dar. Then in Bandipura, Usman Abdul Majid, another independent candidate, is leading. Then in Surankot, which is an ST reserve seat, Muhammad Akram, independent, leading. In again the other ST
Tana
seat,
Mandi,
Tana Mandi, Akhtar Ali Ahmed is leading. And then of course you have the Jammu seats. In Chamb, you have Satish Sharma leading. In Udhampur East, you have Pawan Kajaria leading. And in Bani, you have Dr. Rameshwar leading. So yeah, there are. I think JKPC has two in the valley, and there are two other independents.
These independents or smaller parties, each one of them is a colourful character. Yusuf Tariqami has a cadre of the CPM in the heart of Jamaat Islami country in Kulgam, and he's won every election since I remember. Similarly, Usman Majid is someone who was part of the counter-insurgency against the militancy and terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. He's won Bandipura 2-3 times.
So Muslim hardliners are backing the left cadre who are supposed to be largely atheist.
But he's been a very
will any of these people go with the BJP if it came down to that?
If it came down to the wire, but in this case, it's not coming to the
Haryana
wire.
changing. Haryana changing. 45-39. 45-39. Haryana changing.
Yes.
Charu Pragya.
One has to say that the NC has run actually a very good campaign.
Yeah.
By their own standards.
You should tweet that to Omar.
I have. I've already said. No, I did. No, hang on. I did. I recognized him as I recognized him as the party to beat in Kashmir. I have already said that in a tweet. So
no, not just that.
I
just
don't
saying
hedge my
if
bets.
this holds, Mr. Omar Abdullah is poised to become the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir again. Now it's up to Mr. Omar Abdullah to decide
But Haryana,
what's the brand of politics that he is going to take forward, and whether or not they will be able to work in tandem with the central administration via the LG's office. BJP 46-38. Yeah, Advaita Kala and then Charu Pragya.
You know, I mean, Omar Abdullah has made certain comments and statements which could be defined as being Islamist. Now, has there been that reaction to him as there would be to say a Hindu leader who made statements like that? There hasn't been.
I tell you,
You
lot of the
know that-
conversations.
actually, Omar Abdullah, to be very honest, has not made any statements that are communal in nature. In fact, there was this video that came out where one of his candidates made a communal reference, quite an adverse one. And Mr. Abdullah asked him to keep quiet and told the public that, look,
Umar
this
Abdullah
is
is
not.
an Islamist, I am the Pope.
Yeah, so
Statements. I didn't
no,
say
no,
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 it's
no.
even
So
then,
he's
he has
actually
this
called out.
argument.
He's actually called out Islam.
I'm saying, has he
See, to
received,
pick on Omar
has
is
he received the same amount of censure that is levied on a Hindu leader who would make statements that are similar?
I'm
saying, I'm asking that question
on this,
not from the perspective of.
to be fair,
He's taken a line that is in variance even with Mr. Farooq Abdullah quite often. In fact,
saying that you want Article 370 back is not Islam.
No, but I'm saying, come on, like, is there same censure being extended to him?
But he
I don't
hasn't
think
crossed
so.
the line,
I
you know,
don't think
as
so.
some.
That's again subjective,
it's about
right?
the fact that if he
On
says
who would, that is again subjective.
Like I said,
That I'm not defending
the onus
or
on the
supporting
Congress is
any
to see
remarks.
if the Samvidhan is respected. The onus on Mr. Omar Abdullah is to see that if statehood is returned, but no going back to Article 370. So these are the two responsibilities in the current scenario. Now that is if these numbers hold. Charu Pragya, Jammu and Kashmir. Now Haryana, it's 46-38. So it's swinging in Haryana too, but you still have the magic number right now. So we may just scrape through. That's what it looks like as of now. Into the 6th round of counting, we are given to understand. Okay, but in Jammu and Kashmir, the mandate is for the National Conference.
We will, 100%. Yes, and if I'm being entirely honest, see, there has always been this division in the way Jammu votes and the Valley votes. So I believe that this is the first time for Bharatiya Janata Party that we are performing as well as we are in the Valley region. If we are going to win Lal Chowk, can you imagine Bharatiya Janata Party winning Lal Chowk from a time where people couldn't even go there, to the tricolour being unfurled in this grand manner every single celebration, and a BJP MLA is going to win Lal Chowk? So I think this is a change on ground. This is a change of the entire ecosystem which used to run Jammu and Kashmir, and this was much needed. This is pro-India. This is what we were aiming for, and this is our victory.
See, Shopaya, if a Javed Ahmed Qadri or the BJP is leading, even for a short while, that's a huge turnaround. Because Shopaya was a place where I was present in person, and we had seen shutters which said India go back. We're going to be geared out by a group of people when they realized that this is national media that is coming there, and this is about 6-7 years ago. And from there to for this to happen, before this is pre-abrogation of so it is 2016, 2017, if I remember correctly, that this happened. So from there to this, it's a change. But in Pulwama, again, you have White Para leading in Pulwama, but there has been a dairy and a cooperative movement in Pulwama that's happened. Shopaya also saw one of the highest polls and flags that were put of an enemy nation or a different nation that was put. That's also now seen the highest, the tallest place or pole where the tricolour has been unfurled. So a lot of stories which are there in these regions deep inside Kashmir. But Shaila Rashid, would you take this mandate and this score that is there right now? Do you believe this will further get corrected?
Yes, I believe it will get tempered, although I have not seen the JNK numbers on your screen for a while now.
It's 48 Congress plus NC and 28 for the BJP.
Like, it's not... Yeah, that seems to be the sort of more rational kind of number, which the final result will tilt towards. But yes, it seems to be a sort of comfortable majority for National Conference to form government, unless something anomalous happens afterwards. However, one thing that I want to say is that this is, whatever discussions we have in the rest of the country about this Hindu, Muslim, etc., it doesn't work that way in JNK. So, for example, in the Lok Sabha election, you had a Shia candidate running from the Srinagar Lok Sabha constituency, right? Everyone, Shia, Sunni, everybody voted for him. And yes, Agarullah. And there was no discussion whatsoever, not even from the opposition candidate, not even a hint at his community. So it doesn't work that way in Kashmir, at least I can tell you. There's no like communal element. So BJP, so Rahul has been constantly agitated about why BJP hasn't done well. So BJP is only making baby steps. They are only like dipping their toes in the valley yet. And once they give good leadership, once they have credible faces, once they put strong leaders on the ground, they'll also compete, because at the end of the day, this is not 1987. This is not the conspiracy theory La La Land of the India Alliance that they have been peddling all along. This is a free and fair election. This is a free and fair democratic system. And I really hope that people see that. And this is my this is my wish that the takeaway for younger people of Kashmir should be that this is a free and fair system where everybody can have a say. Everybody can change a government. Stalwarts can lose. Nobodies can win. That's the big takeaway. So today is like a festival of democracy, and that is what the message should be. So we shouldn't be sulking about ki Kashmir Muslim majority hai, wahan pe BJP ko nahi mila. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. Even PDP, which is the most Islamist of them all, they are not getting any, उनका खाता भी नहीं अभी खुल रहा है ठीक से. So ये जो this Hindu-Muslim equation that Rahul has been really upset about, it doesn't really apply to Kashmir.
No, if there is a contest in Gurez, if there is a contest in Lal Chowk, if there is a contest in Shopaya where the BJP is in contention and it's pulling votes, forget winning seats. If it's pulling votes, then your argument holds. But what does the international narrative then mean? What will be the global, because the world is watching this election in Jammu and Kashmir.
No, the global narrative
there are neighbors who are troublemakers who are